Hello and welcome to episode 41 of
The Eldritch Pod Blast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And hello.
Hello.
was yours like a weird robot voice?
Mine was robot voice.
Nice.
It was Hackerman voice.
It was the Hackerman voice.
Nah, Hackerman voice is a little more like mysterious.
Go on.
I'll do Hackerman voice next time.
God, okay, got you.
It's
Thursday's
like-
episode, got you.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more brooding.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
know,
Was that just full on robot?
That was just like basic programmed robot.
Okay,
That
right,
was,
okay,
you
yeah.
know,
Understood.
Just robot. Not too much, not too little.
Yep,
Monotone.
yep.
Hitting them with the Eldritch Pod
Wow,
Blast.
nice. Wake up, sheeple. This is what you're about to
This
become.
is what you're going to become. This is
Do-
what you're about to become.
Do you pre-plan to do this before?
No, I just sort of
just comes out with it?
Yeah, every time I'm like, I should probably plan, and then you go, right, you're ready, and then you clap
Is
your
it
hands,
all thoughts?
and then I go,
That TikTok where it's like, forget everything you've ever known. Done. Done. Not a problem.
and I just panic, and then I just do it, you know?
And you just do it. Fair enough. Well,
Yeah.
hello. How is everyone? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I've got like a piece of hair stuck in this ear.
Uh-oh.
And I can feel it and I'm hyper aware of it.
Oh?
You know when something's like touching you and you're super, super aware of it suddenly?
Yeah.
It's like that. I'm hyper aware
Same.
of it.
Bully touches me all the time.
Yeah, you hyper
He
aware of
always
it every
just needs
time.
to like have like a paw on me.
He does. He
He like sits near me, and then he's like, "Hi, Dad."
It's the elbow.
Yeah, likes to have his elbow on
Likes
you.
to have his elbow
Or a
on
paw
you.
on you.
Yeah. He just likes to be touching
And then
you.
on the morning, what he does is he climbs to the top of the bed,
Yep.
and then he just actually just lays on my pillow.
Yeah, just lays on his head.
But like sideways.
Yep.
So then his paws are on my face. It's basically like, I'm hungry now, so get out of bed.
Get up.
That's basically it.
He's woken up. He knows we're
He knows
talking
what's going on.
about
We got him a
him.
new chair.
We got him a new chair.
Got
You
him a-
know, we've been
It's
threatening.
actually an old
It's
chair.
actually one of our old chairs that we gave to your parents.
Yeah, and then
and-
we asked for it back.
Yeah. We've been threatening. Well, you'll know. We've been threatening for absolutely ages to get him like an armchair,
Yeah.
and we did. We got your dad dropped it off yesterday,
And it spins.
and it spins.
So you can sit on it, and we can just
In the office, he sits in between our desks, and we can just turn him.
turn him to say hello to him.
The turning
and
of
then
the ball.
I can turn
huh?
him to Margaret, and Margaret can say hello. to him.
Yeah, and it's we've had it one day. which
Yeah.
it seems.
He likes to get on the back and look onto the desk though. So if
Oh,
you're eating
I
something,
know.
he just stands on the back and then just like
Yeah, I know. I was eating my breakfast this morning,
Mhm.
and the immediate flaw in the
Yeah.
problem is the fact that he can just get onto the
you
desk
basically
now if
can
he
just get
wants
onto the
to.
desk.
Yeah, but
which isn't
ideal,
great,
to be
'cause
honest.
There's a lot of stuff on the desk.
Because he will eat anything.
Yes.
But he's happy with it. He's happy with
He's
it.
happy. I'm happy.
I'm
Margaret's happy.
There you go. You happy?
You better be.
How about you? You happy?
You're watching the podcast. If you're not happy, what are you doing?
Don't
Why
know
are
what
you
to
here?
tell you.
Stay though.
Please.
Don't go.
Please, God, please. Also, we want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has bought a t-shirt so far. We launched the t-shirts last Monday now. It was technically yesterday for us
Yesterday for us.
at time of filming.
Yeah.
But the support that we've had for the t-shirts already and in the day has been amazing.
Yeah. It's been insane.
It's been absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Like,
So thank you so much to anyone who picked up a t-shirt.
we really appreciate it.
We appreciate it. We know that, you don't have to do that.
No, and it's your
As we
hard-earned
said.
money.
It's your hard-earned cash.
It's your hard-earned
It's
money.
your cash money. You go to
Yeah.
work, you get paid.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully I'd like to think they pay you. God, I swore.
It's okay, just bleep it out.
Yeah, swear. Write it down, Jack. Write it down. So thank you. Truly, you have no idea how much it helps the podcast. It's a really great way to support us, but we cannot stress enough. They are not limited edition. You do not have to buy one. You being here, you watching, you liking, you subscribing, you commenting, that is more than enough support.
The amount of people that were like, I'm so glad you didn't make it limited edition because I
Yeah.
hate it when people do that. And I'm like,
you know what? I wasn't aware that people made things like such limited edition. To
I know
be
it's a
honest.
thing. I know it's a thing,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize so many people did it.
I suppose it's you know what? Now this is the first time we've kind of looked into merch, outsourcing it and having a manufacturer as opposed to us.
Yeah.
I can see why for people it would be easier for the people selling the merch for it to be limited edition.
Yeah.
I can understand that, but
Yeah.
like God, we're going through, because he lives in it. We're going through an economic crisis right now.
I know, and like, you see, like, the windows, and the windows are like 3 weeks, and it's just like some people might not have the money in that time.
Yeah, well,
so
exactly.
It just feels bad.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of them are 2 weeks, which is insane.
And the thing is, it's like, I understand the reason why people do it. Because
I
it's
do
like,
too. I do too.
That window, it's like, you drive demand, don't you? And that small window,
definitely,
people's like, I can't miss out, I've got to buy it today.
Exactly.
But
that's,
just
I feel like
bad.
that does feel kind of bad. Like, and again, we cannot stress enough, you do not need to buy a t-shirt. If you want to, they're there.
Yeah.
I couldn't ever imagine being like, there's 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Come on.
Yeah, get in or get out.
Round them up.
Yeah.
And you always find it always happens near the end of the tax year as well, or the beginning of the tax year, when people are trying to get that tax return.
Yeah, is that why they do it?
You'll notice it's always around April.
Yeah.
Genuinely it is when these things happen. But, that's such is life. We're all fighting for our f***ing lives out here, I swear again.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, I'm on one. We're all fighting for our lives out here. So, not limited edition. Pick one up whenever you want, or don't pick one up at all.
We might retire them like
further down the line.
Further down the line. But there's going to be opportunity for everyone if they want to buy one.
We don't hold stock either, so they're not going to sell out.
No. Unless the people that we buy them from, they sell out.
Yeah, exactly.
There might be times where there might be some sizes that aren't available, but they'll always come back in. Yeah. So if you go and get one and it's not the size that you want, just know that size will come back in at some point.
Exactly. And I don't know if people have started receiving them yet at this point, because there's a processing time of 3 days, and then there's obviously shipping times. But anyone who has bought a t-shirt, send us a picture.
Yeah, send us a picture.
Send us a picture.
On.
We have a channel in our Discord channel, which is just called like selfies and IRL.
I want to see the merch.
I want to see the merch. I want to see them.
We
kind of said last time it might be really boring for watchers of the podcast if we showcase just pictures of people wearing the merch, but at the same time, like, I want to say thank you.
Yeah, well,
I want to give you, the showcase. Yeah. So
maybe we can do like a quick fire reel.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, maybe.
One of our mods said just like a show reel, like a PowerPoint presentation slideshow.
Maybe we can do it at the end. Maybe we can do it at the end of the episode or something like that.
Well, we'll definitely do something. We'll do something.
I'm really sorry, Margaret, but I haven't shaved my beard.
It's all right. That doesn't matter.
I've got this weird thing on my body, right? Okay.
Okay, elaborate.
It's going to sound far less weird than
weird thing on my body.
So I don't know if anybody else does this. I think it can be quite a typical thing for dudes.
Go on.
But
you said dudes.
For my dudes.
Like my dad, then.
On my dudes. So this side of my facial hair grows down, and this side of my facial hair grows backwards.
Yeah, I think that is a common thing.
Yeah,
I think
weird.
that is. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but so this side of my beard looks, well, I don't like the way I look with facial hair.
Oh.
Personally, I don't think it suits me. But this side of my facial hair looks ratchet, and this side of my facial hair looks quite nice.
Let me see.
So,
okay, Jack, they look. I'm not kidding you. Exactly the same.
Maybe it's
to
just
me.
something I notice about myself.
Yeah, it probably is.
Got a little bit of a tash going on.
A little bit of a tash. A little bit of a tash.
I shave quite frequently.
You do shave frequently,
but,
yeah.
I just forgot.
It's fine.
I'll shave for the next one.
I don't care. Do you care? Listen.
Do you not care?
Listen. Okay. Yeah. All right. I agree.
Care.
I care. I really care. No. I like a clean shaven face. I think you've got a very nice face, and I don't want the hair all over it.
Get the hair out of here.
Get the hair out of here. But do you know what? The main reason is the mustache, and it's because you so violently push your face into mine all the time. Having that mustache, it hurts.
Lots of smooches.
It gives me a rash. If you do it too much, it gives me
lots of smooches.
Lots of smooches, and I love the smooch. Don't get me wrong. I love the smooches, but Jack, that mustache can. Pull it out and throw it into the sea.
Yeah, it's violently prickly.
It is violently prickly. Yeah. That's the right word for it. I didn't know if you were like trialing it out, because quite a few people had said they liked the stubble.
Nope.
No, fair enough.
Do you know what? The worst part is, it's like, I know that you can grow it and get past the moment where it's itchy. Yeah. But like round here.
I was going to say, is it itchy?
It's just itchy. And then also, if I have like a tight collared top on,
it
gets caught in the top and
Yeah.
then pulls it, and it's like that really sharp.
I know exactly what you
It's
mean.
the most pain ever.
Wh-
Anyway,
what are we talking about?
I don't know.
How did we get here?
I said that I've forgotten to shave.
Oh yeah, well, you sound off in the car. I'm sure people like the stubble, Jack. People like the stubble. He's had a haircut.
I have had a haircut.
Had a haircut.
You don't need to sound off in the comments because it's not staying. So don't worry about it.
Please, no. We have a lot to cover today.
We have a lot to
this
cover
as well.
This is going to be a long episode.
Yeah, well, we went to Slam Dunk Festival. It was amazing. It was a great time.
Saw Malevolence.
Anyone
who likes heavy metal or hardcore,
you would like Malevolence.
check him out. I know the third Jerry. I pointed him in the direction of these, and he enjoys them. Envy Courier. I know that you're somebody in the Discord who likes heavy metal.
Hell yeah.
Check him out.
Hell yeah. We also saw Holding Absence. Holding Absence are also doing a UK headlining tour, and they're playing Newcastle on my birthday.
So we're going to get some tickets.
Which is pretty fucking cool. November 20th.
Yeah.
If anyone cared.
Put it in your calendar.
It's my 30th.
Get your calendar out and put it in right now.
Yeah, and, just whatever. We saw Trophy Eyes. Oh, man.
Best band of the day.
Best band of the day. They're
band.
always the best band.
And we got to meet them.
We got to meet them. They did a signing, and we did that really awkward thing. Man. So it was a signing tent, and you could buy a record and kind of skip the queue and go, like, not go to the front, but, whatever.
You get priority,
get priority. Yeah. But, we didn't really want anything to sign. We didn't want anything from them.
We didn't want a photo. We just wanted to
wanted to say hi. Like,
awesome.
you guys did an amazing set. They're from Australia. You guys played an amazing set, and please do a headline UK.
We've seen them
tour.
3 times, and every single time it's been at Slam Dunk Festival. They've never done a UK headline.
We were going to see them support Boston Manor when they did a tour, but obviously lockdown.
Lockdown happened.
And they were awesome.
Boston Manor played.
Boston Manor played as well.
Actually, we'd seen them before and we weren't too impressed, but that was because we came out of lockdown.
Yeah.
And it was the first show back. So, you had to give every band a little bit of leeway because they hadn't been able to practice and stuff like that. So we saw them this time, and they were unreal.
Yeah, they smashed it. They really did.
Class.
Yeah, like, they absolutely warranted the hype, I think, that's been going around them
100%.
at the minute. And their new record's awesome.
New record's awesome. Boston
really
Manor
good.
is sick.
Really
Who else
good.
did we see?
We saw Enter Shikari.
We saw Enter Shikari, and we also saw, obviously,
Malevolence.
And they are...
Yeah.
You don't even have to...
I'm not a big fan of Malevolence.
Yeah,
but
they're a bit too heavy for you, I think.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're just so good
really
live.
Tight. Really good.
They're just so impressive live.
Yeah, agreed.
So they're sick.
I know we saw Enter Shikari.
Enter Shikari was amazing.
Enter Shikari, once again, they're one of those bands where you'll all know that one song, right?
Where they do the clap,
please,
clap.
Yeah, please don't pin them down just to that one song. They are so much more than that. If you liked Enter Shikari back then, I would absolutely say try give them another chance. Try listen to them again, because it's the type of music, right, that stands for something.
Yeah.
They really talk about wanting and needing change, and they've been talking about this since like 2009.
Yeah, Enter Shikari couldn't have been every band that we like to listen to has, at least something to say.
Yeah.
We don't like vapid music.
No,
as you can probably tell by the podcast, we like to, talk about things that matter.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
Even
agreed.
in our D&D podcast.
Yeah.
So, Enter Shikari are big on that.
Yeah.
And a lot of other bands that we listen
Political.
to.
They are, what's the word? Not peopleists. What's the word?
Humanitarians.
Yeah, like something like
Socialists.
that. Socialists. Like, really, really, really great music. And their
unreal.
newest album slaps.
Yeah, they're just, you just listen to it and it's just like a little bit more than music.
It is a little bit more.
It's music with a message. You know what? Which is important to me.
The show they put on, you can tell it's more than music, and it's great. So that was Slam Dunk Festival was awesome.
Awesome.
Really good.
Amazing.
Busy.
Oh my God, too busy.
It was very busy. If you went to Slam Dunk Festival, you will know that it was too busy.
They need a bigger field.
Get a bigger field. So, following our script now, we want to thank everyone who's submitted for the homebrew challenge as well.
We've read through all of them. They're all so sick.
Yeah, at time of recording, we launched it yesterday. There's like 8-9 submissions.
So the day this goes live, it'll be shut today.
Oh yeah, the homebrew. Yeah, the first challenge at least will be shut today.
Do we not need to roll a new challenge? No, we don't need to roll.
No.
That's next week. I had a panic moment there. That's next week.
That's next week. So at time watching, the challenge is now closed.
So,
but thank you so much to everyone who has taken part. We can't believe.
Yeah.
You know what? We weren't sure how it was going to be received.
Some people join the Discord just to do the challenge.
Some people
join
the yeah, and you know what? One of our mods, Sherry, and it was Sherry who said, "Shall we do something like this?"
Yeah. Big up Sherry.
Big up Sherry.
Big up Sherry.
Big up Sherry.
Like,
thanks, Sherry.
The fact that our mods, it's mad, isn't it? Just like our mods care so much about this podcast
they do.
as well.
Yeah, our mods, man, and I'm not discrediting any of you. We know you all really care for the podcast.
Yeah.
But, our mods who are in our Discord, man, they really go above and beyond for us all the time.
To want to think of this activity for everyone to do. Yeah. It's just special,
yeah,
isn't it?
And, it goes beyond that as well. Our mods take care of a lot of stuff for us.
So we don't have to.
A lot of stuff. And they do it voluntarily.
Yeah.
They spend their time on us. They buy our merch. It's unbelievable. And I know we say it all the time, but thank you to our mods.
Thank you to our mods. Thank you to every listener. Like, the podcast, as we always say, has just become so much more than we ever thought it would be.
Especially at this point.
Dungeons and Dragons podcast isn't exactly the most
lucrative
thing, but you make us still want to do it because it's just so much fun.
It's just so much fun.
Have just a silly goofy time.
And we're so glad you like the homebrew challenge.
Yeah. There will be another one getting rolled next week.
Yes.
And then next week, we're going to read out on Thursday next week, we're going to read out your moon, your Simple Weapon moon themed submissions.
Yes, exactly.
I'm excited.
So, right, fan art. Let's get into the fan art.
Let's go.
So, we have two. We've decided, because, it depends on the week how much fan art there is, but typically we'll always show like 2 pieces of fan art every week. That seems to be like the
fact that we have 2 pieces of fan art every week.
Insane, by the way. Absolutely insane and wild.
You're just crazy.
You are. You're
crazy.
You're crazy.
What's going on? You're crazy.
You're crazy, girl.
You're crazy.
Crazy girl. So, this fan art was sent in by Sephi.
Yeah.
And it's just a little rat family. It's just a bunch of rats that having a really good time.
I got a cap on backwards.
Yeah, well, shall we look? So, first of all, I love
your little blonde streaks in there.
Oh, thank you.
This is like what, the 4th piece of art that Sephi's had on the podcast?
I think
They're
so.
Just all so cute.
Yeah, I think so. Man, these little rats, these are the cutest little rats I've ever seen. I love how everyone draws you with grey hair.
It's basically just grey. I saw a picture of me from when we first met.
Yeah.
My hair was like dark brown.
Yeah, I used to be dark brown.
Dark brown.
Yeah.
Now it's just sort of like
it's
grey.
Yeah, I feel like it actually is still dark brown, but because it's kind of highlighted with the grey, it looks like it's like
it's just like a mousy blonde sort of weird
Yeah, it does look mousy blonde. Yeah, but you were mousy blonde when you were a child, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't because it was grey.
No. No.
So is that Sephi down there?
Yeah, that's Sephi.
Is Sephi the last one?
It's mum, dad, and son.
Oh, man.
What do you think?
So cute.
I like Sephi's, you know what? Pink and yellow is my favourite colour combination. And the pink and yellow on like the fluffy tail, and I can see Sephi's hair like there as well.
And I love dark blue. And my hat's dark blue, my cape's dark blue.
There you go. And I obviously love purple. And I love how he's done the little space bun. Oh no, those are my ears. Space bun's ears, same thing.
Same thing.
I just think absolutely.
But space buns come off.
Oh yeah, space buns. Space buns are a lie. That's for me to know and you to find out.
Give it a go.
Boo. Me to know and you to find out. I love how Sephi, you've given us the nose rings, the septums.
Yeah, the septum piercings.
And I like all the earrings on your ears as well, Sephi. Very cute.
Very cute.
I love it very, very much.
So adorable.
Thank you, Sephi.
Do you know what? I think this is my favourite one of Sephi's art.
You know what? I agree, and it's us as rats.
Yeah, I think that's my favourite one so
I
far.
agree. I think that's really cute and sweet.
I just love it. It just looks so cute.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Big fan. Thank you very much, Sephi.
Thank you, Sephi.
So this next one. So this was also sent in by Go Lightly Finch. Once again, I am absolutely certain you have seen Finch's art before. We've definitely mentioned it before because Finch was kind enough to do some fan art of Rayla.
Yeah.
Finch is one of my favourite artists in the D&D sphere. Her art is amazing. And she mentioned a while ago that because Abby posted a commission she got done of TRP, of the Red Priestess.
Yeah.
And she said, I love her character design. I'm going to sketch her one day. And then she just hits us with
Then she just does it.
And then she just hits us with this. So this is the Red Priestess. This is Abby's character who plays TRP, at our table. Yeah. This is TRP herself.
TRP.
Man.
Midnight, innit?
Yeah. The earrings. like the piercings, the red eyes,
the way the fringe
hair,
sits,
man, the brows. Oh my god. Like
it's insane, isn't it?
I love Finch's
and
style
I'm pretty
so
sure
much.
it was we were in the watch party in the Discord.
Yeah,
and we were just watching,
yeah.
and Finch was in there, and Finch was like, "Oh, actually, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that."
Finch was like, "I'm just gonna sketch.
I'm just gonna do the sketchy TRP now."
What?
And we were like, "Okay." And then by the time the podcast was over,
Not only did she have the sketch done, she had the coloured.
yeah, that was it. What is
how,
wrong with all of you?
How does that happen?
Share the talent.
Please
Just share it round.
Please.
Give it to everyone else. Give it to me. I'd like some.
I would like some.
Can I have some, please?
Please, God.
Any of you artists.
I just think absolutely stunning. And
yeah, it's gorgeous.
The second Finch said that, because we were in a watch party. I
text Abby.
I screenshotted it. I text Abby, and Abby was like,
Uh-oh.
"I'm dead in the ground."
Yeah.
And as soon as it landed, I messaged Abby, and Abby died to death.
Dropped everything she was doing and came
Yeah.
into the Discord.
Yeah.
She was like,
Exactly. I'm pretty sure Abby was at work at the time
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous. I love that. You know what? I love that so much
I know,
for Abby.
it looks so great.
I'm absolutely buzzing for Abby that Priestess has had work done. Got some filler in it.
Got some
Botox.
filler in it, got some Botox in there.
So thank you, Finch. Thank you. We really appreciate that you would do that for our friends.
Yeah.
That means a lot to us.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It really does.
I know, because I know, trust me, I know that made Abby extremely happy.
Yeah.
That made Abby very happy.
It did. It truly did, which, is an amazing feeling.
Yeah, of course it is.
And I say that as if I contributed at all. I did nothing. But thank you, Finch. And thank you, Sephi.
Thank you, both of you. All the
you.
artists in the community.
Thank you.
You're all insane. You're all amazing.
You are. You're all amazing.
We love having you here. You're just crazy.
You are,
A
yeah,
lot of you.
absolutely.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
You're crazy. So, that's the fan art done.
Yeah.
The last thing to talk about is a campaign update 40
Yeah.
minutes into this video.
You're getting the good stuff today.
Yeah.
Getting the real rambles.
So, last Monday's episode, there wasn't a campaign update because we had a week off.
Yeah.
Very well deserved. Feeling funky and fresh.
Yeah, and oh my god.
Oh my God.
I think everybody then realized why I needed it.
Yes.
Because everything's beginning to just...
Everything's starting to piece together now.
Everything's just beginning to everything that I've set up
Yeah.
from session 1
Yeah.
to session 29 or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
All of those things are just now happening.
Yes.
Happening.
It's weird, isn't it? And you've spoken about this before.
Mm.
The setup takes a long time.
The setup SWAT takes the work.
Setup takes a long time. It's not a case of having to get people to buy in because we're invested from
Well, you still do though.
Yeah,
You know,
there still has to be an element of people maybe getting it or people
Yeah.
being invested in the people, and
Understanding the
things.
gravity, understanding sort of just what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's
there's a lot of factors.
to me, I like when all my players just really understand.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the most complex, but they need to understand what's on the line, why
Mhm.
it's happening, and the things that have come before.
Yeah, which I think we have a good grasp on.
Yeah, I do. I agree.
And the setup takes a long time. It was session 28, 29.
Yeah.
So we're getting into the meat and potatoes of it
Yeah,
now.
we're getting to the potato
The
sandwich.
meat and bread. So where we last left off.
Yes.
Just to give you a recap on the recap, we left off with Angerboda getting the spark.
Mhm.
We fell through the ice and we fell into the city of Muspelheim,
Mhm.
which was the city of the giants. We had a little bit of a pity party at the bottom,
Mhm.
understandably feeling pretty bad about ourselves.
Yeah, that's
That's part of it.
to me, every good story has a low point.
Yep.
Empire Strikes Back. Anyone? Star Wars. End of that Star Wars movie. It is everything that could have gone wrong's gone wrong.
Yep.
And the last movie is from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do.
I like the bad guys. Enacting most of their plan, but there's still time to recover.
Yeah. That nearly made me cry.
It's good though. That's what you want, because then if your players never lose and they only win, then it doesn't feel good.
I agree. You have to have these moments of loss. And, a moment that sticks out for me in the whole campaign is what happened to Priestess when that, for Priestess, was the absolute bottom of the barrel shit that could have happened to her. And granted, it's still not resolved. Will it ever be resolved? We don't know. But You
That's
know,
sort of on Priestess.
yeah, that was that. You know, and I think you have to have those really low lows to be able to celebrate
Celebrate the highs.
celebrate the highs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, our characters were, I feel, at the lowest low.
Yeah. And you know, that's just me. You don't have to DM.
No,
like
no,
that.
no. God, no.
That's
of
just
course
the way
not.
I like to tell a story.
Yes, yes, and that's how, you know, from what I can speak for myself only. That's how I like to experience a story too. I like the lows. I feel like the lows are necessary. So we're sat at the bottom of this. Also, sorry to completely go off on a tangent again. After the last session update, we had a lot of feedback from people saying they really enjoyed that specific one. I'm assuming because of Angerboda and the betrayals, etc. So thank you. It's really nice to know.
Yeah, thank you. Like,
it's nice to know that we can talk about what happens in our campaign, and people actually care, and it's not something that people, you know. I understand some people will, but not everyone wants to skip over.
You know, that's not the point. The point is we put the timestamps below so you can do what you want.
And I always really worry that maybe you know, me specifically, because I have a lot of feelings all the time. I talk about it maybe too much, and I go on a little bit too much.
Do what you want.
True.
But you know, like in the Discord and in the comments, like the very kind things that you all said about the campaign, you know, makes me feel good. So
it makes me
appreciate
it makes me feel good for you as well. And I worry that maybe I'm telling it in such a disjointed way, but I think that might be just me projecting, because you seem to all be grasping it.
I'm here to, you know, keep you on track. So
yeah. So we start Muspelheim having a pity party, worst time of our lives. We decide
underneath a sheet of ice.
Yeah.
That has covered the entirety of Jotunheim.
Yeah. So we're basically in a ditch. You know, in the that SpongeBob episode where he's fallen down and he can't get the bus out of nowhere.
No, I don't have to that one.
It's like that. And, we decided, you know, we picked ourselves up and we said, well, we might as well look around, see if there's anything down here. We took a look around, and as we'd learnt, Aegir started to lead the revolution of the giants to march back into Midgard.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually came across the scene of this happening. We knew Hrungnir broke the dam for the permafrost to encompass the city, because he had to stop them somehow.
Yeah.
I don't think, as Margaret, I didn't consider the fact that we would see that happening. Don't know why I didn't consider that, but I didn't.
So when they went down, there was like an entire city, like a very large city. It was built for giants. So giants can range from just taller than humans to like the tallest, which is like what Hrungnir is, like 30 feet tall.
Yeah.
So there's a number of different stone buildings built within this frozen wasteland by the spark. That's what was the point of it. And there was a scene as they're all like all of these armored giants with their like swords and axes and all sorts walking out,
marching away
with one stood on a rock,
leading the charge, which is Aegir.
Leading the charge, and they're all just frozen in time.
Yeah, and you know, again, I don't know why I didn't consider the fact that, you know, we knew Hrungnir broke the dam and froze all of the giants, right? Because of this, didn't consider that we'd see it. So we did, and it was quite a visceral thing. Why am I getting emotional about it?
Because I guess it is a bit upsetting. You know, then like you've heard about. You saw, like, as early as, like, session 6 or 7 or something, like, you saw, like, a forgotten giant civilization.
Yeah.
Because there's many of them just, like, around. The giants are, like, opportunistic builders.
Yeah.
Like they are in God of War. Like, they build into landscapes. So it's just, like a cavern with just, like, houses built into the sides of these caverns that go up, like, tiers. You know, you've seen the land that they once had that's been taken away from them, and you've been told that they've been sent to Jotunheim, and you're told that, you know, they were betrayed by one of their own, and then finally you saw them all.
You saw it, you saw it, and it was quite a visceral thing to see. And, you know, we just took it in, we took a look. We're like, wow, that they really were right on their way to Midgard here. That would have been bad. That's foreshadowing. So we go. We decided we're going to take a look at Hrungnir's house, just to see if there was just anything we could find, because Hrungnir was tasked by Odin. He was tasked by Odin to basically take the giants out of Midgard. They can come back, you know, when they're ready, etc.
When he says you can.
And you know, one contentious thing between all of us is, well, what does Odin what's Odin's part in this? Because all we've learned so far about Odin is he married a god of Vanaheim and promised Vanaheim, which is another realm, that they would prosper and they would bring good things and they would kind of all work together and all trade together. But that didn't happen. Odin ended up just taking from Vanaheim and draining Vanaheim and leaving the bad stuff there and taking the good stuff out away. And then we find that he's also said to the giants, hey, can you just piss off for a little bit? You go live in this frozen wasteland that's kind of uninhabitable, and I promise you'll be able to come back, but only when I tell you. And, we're kind of like, well, we're kind of trying to find a bad guy here, I think. And signs were pointing towards Odin at this point. And we go into Hrungnir's house. We end up finding a letter. We also wanted to get something for Yggvilf. Hrungnir is her father. We wanted to bring her back a keepsake. We got her a locket, etc. That's foreshadowing. And we find a note from Odin to Hrungnir, and it paints a bigger picture, actually. The note said, I should have got my notes. The note said something along the lines of, what you're doing is hard. You will be rewarded for this. It will be worth it. But one day, Midgard will have giant men and gods all living together.
And?
Giants.
The people of Vanaheim.
The people of Vanaheim.
People of Vanaheim. We just call them, like, humankind.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all of the, like, human races.
Yeah.
And people from Vanaheim, they'll all be able to live in Midgard
live together.
Because, like, Midgard for Odin is, like, his like, favorite creation. He just loves Midgard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of the other realms are hostile in different ways, but Midgard is just, like, the best. And he wants everyone to live there.
See, that just feels kind of selfish in a way, to be like, well, I created Midgard, so it's the best. So everyone has to move here and everyone has to do all this. To me, the feeling I'm getting is that Odin's kind of being like, yo, this is going to be the best, trust me. Selfishly, that is the vibe I'm getting. Anywho, look at me slagging Odin off. So, that end of the note, by the way, everyone will live together in harmony. Vanaheim, humankind, and giants are going to live together. That's actually a piece of the puzzle we didn't have. As players and our characters, we didn't have that unifying thing. So that kind of changed. I know I've sat here and slagged Odin off for like 5 minutes, but
you can still think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, that kind of was like when you finally get like the last corner of the piece of the puzzle and you put it in, it kind of felt like that. So we were like, well, if Odin intended for everyone to come back, because he had promised the giants, you will come back. He had told Vanaheim, we will all be together. I don't know what he told humankind, but whatever. And we didn't have that piece of information. So something's happened. Putting it together, something's happened. Somewhere along the line, something has happened to Odin, because of Odin, for Odin, that has stopped these plans. And we don't know what that is yet. So we find all that. We have a chit chat about it. We leave. We mentioned in the last session recap that when we had gotten to Hrungnir and we were getting the spark from his hammer, in a mountain adjacent to where we were,
behind where you were,
we noticed that there was like a flashing light, and you described it as kind of like glass.
Something's like catching the sun.
Yeah.
You know when you got a watch on and you can like bounce it off the sun.
Yeah.
It was like that.
And we were like, someone's fucking spying on us.
Yeah.
Someone's got a spyglass, because we have a spyglass. And we were like, someone's spying on us, and it was still going. So we were like, okay, well, we're gonna have to head over there. We got wingsuits.
Yeah. Well, Abby scried.
And
She
saw a whole bunch of picture frames that had glass in them that were set up in a way to reflect the sun, depending on where the sun was, to send signals out. So we were like, oh my god, that's probably Zissa. Because...
Do they know who Zissa is?
I don't know if you know who Zissa is, but we have paintings basically that are painted by Zissa, the wife of Tyr, who is currently in Vanaheim holding the 3 children. And why am I getting emotional? All the paintings had a very specific picture frame, which was kind of like Zissa's trademark.
Yeah, it's a trademark frame. It's like a very filigree gold ornate frame.
Yeah, and we had been using and collecting these paintings because as she disappeared, because she did, we found these paintings that had the message "step through" written on it. And we found that these paintings were magical and we could step through them into Vanaheim, into pockets of Vanaheim, which is how we found out about Tyr in the first place, being there. So immediately we were like, this is Zissa. It has to be.
Yeah.
So we go over. We have wingsuits. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing from a previous arc. They've got to roll every day to see if they can use them.
Rayla and Priestess had a terrible time. We landed, smashing the glass in face. It was a whole thing.
Smashed into the bin, the frames.
1d4 damage. It was a whole thing. We get there, and just as we are about to step into the cave, because we can hear someone in there, we hear like the eruption of a volcano.
Yeah.
And granted, it was only Abby who got to see this because she had the spyglass, but we all heard it.
You know, I shared it with the group. It was a moment for the group, but just one person saw it.
Where are we now? The Jotunheim.
Yeah.
In the frozen waste of Jotunheim.
You're in the Nyard Mountain.
Yeah.
Which is at the very south of Jotunheim.
Yeah. There was there was a volcano there. And
there's a range of mountains that separate Midgard and Jotunheim. And yeah, they're volcanic.
Yeah. And we knew that this area was... So Vanaheim kind of is like the Feywilds, right? It reflects what is going on in Midgard. We knew in Vanaheim, one of the children of Loki, Surtur, who was a fire giant, kind of was around this area. So we had inklings. We had seen the volcanoes in this frozen wasteland. We were like, okay, that has to have something to do with Surtur, okay? And Yggvilf had previously told us that the permafrost didn't kill the giants. It simply permanently froze them.
Froze them in time, yeah.
And the only way to reverse the permafrost was from the heart of the volcano. So that was something that was weighing on our minds anyway, right? We turn round, volcano erupting, us quaking, giants frozen, and we just see a hand pulling itself out of the volcano.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely, one of the children of Loki steps out. It's Surtur.
Yeah.
Surtur just pulls herself out of this volcano, and she's got this. Is it an axe she has, or is it a mace?
Flail.
A flail. My God.
Just this blazing flail. She's covered in fire. She's got like almost white hot hair.
Yeah.
It's like braided down either side.
Yeah.
Like typical fucking like bad bitch fighting style. She comes out like all of her skin is just like almost like lava, and with this like massive chest plate on.
Mm-hmm.
She comes out. She walks down the mountain towards the frozen wastes of Jotunheim.
Yep, towards where we had just been.
What does she do?
She raises her flail, and she takes a second, and she looks, and she just brings the fucking flail down on top of Muspelheim. And you know how I said the heart of the volcano is the only thing that could cure the permafrost? Turns out Surtur is the heart of the volcano. That's what Surtur is. She brings the flail down, and she unfreezes all of the giants we had just seen. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
they'd known this entire time that the mountains of Jotunheim were like made from the bodies of giants that attempted to go back through to Midgard and were like struck down or whatever. So then they begin to see the mountains of Jotunheim just begin to crumble. This entire mountain range begin to crumble as all of the giants just begin to burst out of the mountain. As all of the ones that were in Muspelheim who were heading towards it all begin to unfreeze and continue their march.
And Aegir, who was leading the charge, gets straight back to it. Aegir, immediately, let's go. So we have a situation where the giants are marching back into fucking Midgard. and Surtur, who we assumed was chained up in Vanaheim, no longer chained up in Vanaheim, walks through a fucking volcano, and we're all stood there like, oh my god, oh no, this is bad. And we looked down because Hrungnir was frozen as well, right? And we were like, what's Hrungnir doing? And you just said he's just on his hands and knees with his head in his hands, watching as the giants move towards Midgard. And man, that's sad. That hurts. Don't know why. So we're like, well, we better check out who's in this cave then. You know, the world's ending around us, but let's go check out what's happening in this cave. So we go into the cave, and who stops us? It's Runa. It's only Runa, who, if you heard in last episode, Angerboda was disguising herself as Runa. We thought we knew Runa. No, we just knew Angerboda. The real Runa was here, threatening our lives, by the way, obviously. And we turn and we look, and oh, it's only Lieutenant Tamer as well, who Angerboda had also been disguising as. So it was a really weird moment for our characters, because our characters felt like they knew these people. And turns out they weren't dead. They had just been banished to living in this stupid cave.
Yeah.
We kind of talk the situation down, and then
Who else is there?
Zissa.
Yeah.
It's only Zissa.
Yeah.
She reveals herself. We all have a bit of a lament. We kind of catch them up on what's been going on, because, you know, they've been trapped alone in this cave. They can't do anything. They kind of knew what the situation was, but they didn't really know.
They knew the situation about 6 months earlier.
Yeah.
So they
and a
knew,
lot has changed in 6 months.
You know, it was Runa. Runa was the one who came up with the plan.
Yeah.
For Tia to head into. She was very trusted by Tia. She was very trusted by Zissa.
Yeah.
Tia went into Vanaheim to hold the children there to basically starve them out, because they had a fight. Tia won. They all tried to escape.
Yeah.
They knew where they'd escaped to.
Yeah.
The chains were set up there. All the soldiers gave their lives to throw the chains onto the children and basically hold them there to starve them out.
Mm-hmm.
But the children began to regain power when they shouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, the children got stronger and stronger and stronger.
Zissa, Tia's wife, he had given her a vial of blood, and if she had put like a drop into her paints as she was painting, it would allow her to step through to Vanaheim.
Yeah,
that was the magic.
Yeah.
So she realized that Tia was struggling, so she went to who else? The person who made the plan, Runa. Turns out at that point, that was no longer Runa. That was
Angerboda. So Angerboda was like, "This bitch knows too much.
This bitch knows too much."
Yeeted her into a cave.
Straight to the mountain.
Yep. Straight
to the mountain.
To the mountain. To the mountain.
So yeah, and
Tamer, I feel like, was just an unfortunate circumstance.
She was just an unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah.
Tamer was less important.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah.
She was. But yeah. So, Zissa used the last drop of blood to paint a painting in the mountain to see if the mountain was just as volatile, because they can't get off the mountain because it's covered in permafrost.
Yes, yeah, that yeah. They were trapped there.
So they were trapped there. So what did she say? We need to get
more blood so I can make you one last painting so you can get to Tia.
Yes. Because
again, you know, with these portal paintings, it was kind of like a radius. You could only go so far until you were stopped. So we had never been able to get to Tia. So she was like, I can do this. I can make this one last painting, and then we can bring Tia back through to Midgard, let him recover, and then we can try work out a plan. As this is happening, by the way, Hermeta, Matthew's character, Jack's like, Hermeta, you get like a really weird feeling. Like the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and you feel like someone's watching you. And we were all like, oh no. Seconds later, some wizard dude called Thurin pops in.
Who they'd saved earlier in the game.
Who we'd saved earlier in the game. I can't remember if... We would have explained it, but...
Yeah. He's just a prominent NPC.
He's a prominent NPC who's one of our allies. And he thankfully was like, I can get us out of here. I have teleportation scrolls to Scalaness. And not only... And we were like, great, let's go to Scalaness. And Thurin was like, well, there's a problem with that. Scalaness has been taken over by creatures of Vanaheim. And do you want to know why? It's because Runa Angerboda had teleportation circles set up across all the major cities,
Which you knew about.
which we knew about.
And you also... You saw a teleportation circle.
We saw. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it.
They saw a teleportation circle being built in Vanaheim by the Vanaheimians when they first saw Jormungandr.
Mm-hmm.
And then they saw similar teleportation circles in each of the major cities, but didn't piece the two together.
Never pieced it together.
So-
and you know what? We made a big point to be like, oh, this is interplanar travel. These are definitely interplanar travel. Why? Forgot about it.
Yeah. So basically, when the circles got powered up by the spark that Angerboda used, all of the people from Vanaheim basically attacked from the inside of each city.
Yep.
So they've lost
Not great.
basically every city.
Not great. And also, by the way, while all of this is going on, the only person who has sending is Abby. I have a sending stone, but it's only like a one-time day thing. So poor Abby. All of the sending has to be on her. And obviously, you know, third level spell slots are finite.
Yeah, it's this level, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she had to use all of her spell slots to use sending. And she contacted King Ingvar, who was one of Tia's and Zis's children. And Ingvar confirmed. He was like, yep, they came from within. And he was like, I've left. I'm going to Grindel. And I've got your little friend, who's Dagmar.
Dagmar!
He's got Dagmar.
You mentioned Dagmar to him and how he was very important before he left.
He picked Dagmar up.
I made sure the King Ingvar grabbed Dagmar.
Thank God.
And they're going to Grindel, which is Matthew's home city.
Yep.
That was basically abandoned and destroyed in Fimbulwinter.
Yeah.
That he's rebuilding.
We'd been sending quite anyone who was kind of looking for a home. We'd been sending them to Grindel.
Yeah. So you've got like a small group of very important NPCs.
We do. No, yeah, we do.
In Grindel. So that's going to be like the base of operations.
Yes,
at this point.
it is. So she also contacted Hrungnir down the hill, and she was like, hello, well, your daughter's alive if you want to go see her. She's in the swamp. And Hrungnir was like, all right, I'll go to the swamp. And then we had a chit chat and we were like, actually, Hrungnir and Igvilf, we need you in Grindel. So
yeah,
she had to use another sending to message him. And she was like, hi, if you're still there, you need to go somewhere else. And he was like, no offense, I was not waiting for you. He had already pissed off. He'd already gone.
He was going to the swamp to see his daughter.
But, you know, we're sending... You know what? We realised in that moment how many allies we had.
Yeah.
Actually.
That was the point.
You know.
There was always people there for you to help.
Yeah.
And if you'd helped them in this moment, they would become allies.
Yeah. And
you've got King Ingvar, you've got Dagmar.
You've got Dagmar.
You've got Thurin.
Yep.
You've got
Igvilf and Ezrin.
And Ezrin, the dragon.
The dragon.
And potentially Hrungnir.
Yeah. We've got there was a few other people as well.
Tia potentially.
Yeah, we've in that moment it made us realize how many allies we actually had, which was nice. And
how did the session end?
The session ended with us basically, we made a plan of action. The problem is, right? Yes, Surta is back. Also, Priestess sending to Tia to let him know that Zissa, you know, all this. And he was like, all the chains are broken.
Yeah.
Man, if that wasn't the most terrifying 5 words I've ever heard in my life, I don't know what is.
Surta,
Fenrir,
Jormungandr, all the giants, all the people from Vanaheim, and Angerboda.
Not good.
So
Not good.
You needed the vial of blood to make the last painting to bring Tia back.
We had to bring Tia back. That was imperative.
So they all teleported to Scaloness,
Yep.
to Zissa's house in Scaloness
Yep.
that overlooks the Bifrost.
Yep.
You have a little fight in the house,
Yep.
clearing out some people.
Yep.
And the plan is to grab the vial. Everyone's gathering in the middle of Scaloness. Everyone's gathering and looking towards the Bifrost.
Yep. And we're in that house.
And you don't know why.
Nope.
But the plan is get the vial, teleport out. We
need to run through Scaloness.
You need to run through Scaloness to get the Yggdrasil, because right now you need allies, and all of your family could be potential allies.
Well, that's actually not the reason we're going. I didn't realise that. But
I mean, yeah, and your backstory.
Yeah, well, no. Well, the reason that we're going to Yggdrasil is because Nidhogg is currently attacking Yggdrasil, and it's trying to sever the realms, Midgard specifically, from the World Tree so they could fall into Helheim, where Nidhogg is from.
Native too.
And you know, I don't think really Rayla's thinking about.
No,
and I'm not really thinking about
No.
the ally aspect. I don't think
No.
anyone's thinking that, to be honest.
I mean that's what Zissa mentioned to you last.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. She said that to you.
What did she say?
She said that. She said, well, because she was like, you know, I want to get my husband back, and that's why you split the party. So they're going to get Tia back,
Yeah.
and you're going to Yggdrasil to deal with, you know, the things that are going on there with Nidhogg, and to, you know, fight for the World Tree and bring your family back.
Yeah.
But also, that might also bring back,
Allies.
you know, all of your people.
Yes, yeah. You know, I wasn't thinking of it like that.
Yeah, I know. But that's what she said to you.
Did she?
Yes.
We were only going to Yggdrasil because, you know,
It's all over if not.
If we don't stop Nidhogg, there's not going to be a Midgard to protect anymore. So it's all pointless, basically.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, I didn't know the allies thing. I didn't really think of it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did mention that thing.
I don't think anyone was thinking like that either. But you know, my people are strong people.
Just people are strong people. They're
Strong
warriors.
people.
They're called the Night Warriors.
Yeah, that's you know, Rayla's sister, is one of the best warriors they have.
Yeah. But you know, so you know, from a DM perspective as well,
Mm-hmm.
it now comes down to, like, you know, you want to go there first of all to kill Nidhogg.
Yep.
To finish your backstory.
Yep.
To get your family back.
Yep.
But also, right now, you're in Grindel.
Yep.
Like a speck
Yeah.
of the map. There are, you know, what did we just say? The three children of Loki,
Yeah.
the giants,
Yeah.
the Vanaheimians,
Yeah.
and Angerboda.
Yeah.
You could maybe do with.
We need some allies. We
You
need
some allies.
we need a couple more allies. See, that's, you know what? I feel like that just perfectly.
It does, exactly. That's why
like,
it's sick.
It shows the perfect example of like a DM thinking and player thinking.
Yeah. So not only are you going to, like, fingers crossed, go there and achieve your goals of what, like, Vendari is meant to do, which is protect Midgard.
Yeah.
But also, by doing that, you might just get
some of the last people we need.
Get the break that you need.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It's all happening.
It's all happening. So
my
my
God,
backstory is finally going to kick off.
So exciting.
I'm going to get some backstory stuff, which I'm very excited for, because I'm the only one who hasn't had any backstory
Yeah,
stuff
you were supposed to maybe tackle this a little earlier.
Yeah.
But the group decided to go elsewhere.
Yeah,
but,
and you know, one person, because they want to explore their backstory, can't force a whole group to go do something, right?
Yeah.
Like, do I wish we'd maybe explored it a bit earlier? Maybe.
I know, but now it feels like it's got even more at stake.
Now it feels, I agree. Now it feels like,
because we've waited, there's even more, like, context to it.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you might complete your backstory and also, like, potentially save the world because of it.
Yeah.
So you never know. There might be more. There's just a little bit more at stake now.
See, I think that's it. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Like, I wasn't even thinking like that. Wild. Absolutely wild. It's weird how many steps ahead you've planned.
Yeah,
well, you have to.
You sort of have to.
Yeah, you have
to.
Yeah,
think.
you have to.
You sort of have to think like that.
Yeah. Well,
So
exciting stuff coming.
But they've finished the fight in the house. They're just about to get the vial of blood.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe just look out the window and see what's going on in the middle of Scalaness.
Yep, there's something happening, and we are going to have to wade our way through it.
Yeah,
and we absolutely fucking bossed a fight, by the way.
I just did, yeah. You
we absolutely smashed a fight. When you have your one combat a day, you're gonna smash it, right?
Yeah.
And I also got to use my feature, a feature that I've had for a long time that I haven't had a chance to use yet. And it's when I am in wild shape and I hit 0 in wild shape, I roll a d4 and Rayla transforms into Vendari for 1d4 rounds. And that got to happen.
Yeah.
And it felt really good. Felt really, really good.
She blocked the doorway and basically became the meat shield.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was absolutely the meat shield.
So you were
That was the point.
getting wailed on.
I was getting absolutely wailed on, but it felt good.
You dropped to 0 hit points, but instead of reverting back to Rayla,
Yeah.
you turned into Vendari. So that meant stars and galaxies on the right hand, and all the flames breathed through the left hand. They overtook both sides of the body,
Mhm.
and you were just a wolf split down the middle
Yeah.
of flame and galaxies.
It was like the final full transformation.
That was,
and
yeah.
you know,
It couldn't have happened at a more perfect
no,
time.
well, yeah, no, yeah,
Just as
I
we're
agree.
about to go.
I agree, and you know, the first time that Rayla turned on her party was when Vendari kind of took over, and she couldn't control it because she didn't know how to.
Yeah.
And she's never felt power like that, but she was scared of power like that. And then it happened, and there could have been consequences to it, but there wasn't.
No.
And you know, for the first time, she felt like, oh, maybe I can do this.
Maybe I can control this.
Maybe I can control Vendari, and you know, when I need it, I'll be
Mhm.
able to harness it. So it was a good feeling. It was a good feeling.
Good.
So
It was a pretty cool session.
it was a great session, man.
And this is what I mean. Like, you know, I've put all the shit in place for these moments to happen,
Mhm.
and now all of these moments are happening.
Yeah,
It just feels good.
Definitely.
You know, Surtur freed all the giants.
yeah.
All of the Vanaheimians came through the portals.
Angerboda has the spark.
Angerboda has the spark.
Yep. Yep.
It's just all happening.
We have a bit of a game plan going.
Yeah.
You know, it's still disjointed. We're not going to be able to properly put a game plan in.
So yeah, Runa and Tamer and Zissa and Thurin are all going to go up to the Bilswell crater to get Tia back.
Yep.
And you're all going to go to Yggdrasil.
And then we're going to meet in the middle at Grindal.
And we're going to meet in the middle at Grindal.
Yep.
That's the plan.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm not only excited for, you know, Yggdrasil, obviously. I'm excited for when all of us get together. That's my favourite part of a campaign. It's
Same.
kind of when you're in the last arc and you've gathered your allies, you've made your friends, and you all need to come together to do the last thing. We had it in the last campaign. It's making me emotional again. We had it in the last campaign where, like, the few NPCs that we were really close to, we kind of had a last stand with them, and it felt really good.
Yeah.
And I can only assume it'll feel the same, except this time we have a lot more allies than we did.
And, you know, the stakes seem to be just a little bit higher this time. And, you know, it's not about doing that. But, like, the first campaign for me was sort of just like a baby test to see if I could do it. And I really liked it.
Yeah.
And at the end, I was just, every session, I was like, oh, this is so like now it feels sort of like that. And
Yeah.
for me, everything's just like falling into place. All of the pieces are just falling into place.
Yeah.
And for every time something happens for you guys, you're all like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, it
When
makes
you're
me
at that
feel
point
good.
where you're kind of getting your hard work's paying off now.
Yeah, my hard work's, you know, 28 sessions, 29 sessions later,
Yeah.
my hard work's paying off.
Yeah.
And
So,
it just
you know.
feels good.
Yeah, definitely. It feels good for us too. Feels really good for us. Feels good for everyone.
I'm
We're
just
in,
excited.
I feel like we're in like the peak of the campaign now. Probably the last arc as well.
Yeah, well, you know, we've got to go to Yggdrasil first.
Yeah.
And, you know,
true.
we've got to tackle what's happening there.
Got to tackle Odegar as well.
And you've got to tackle Odegar.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, the first city that you'll probably come to from Grindal
Yeah.
is
Is going to be
Gotland,
Scotland,
which is where
they're hiding out.
the vampires are.
Yep. Exciting things to come. That was a really, really long.
It's an hour and 15 minutes.
It's an hour and 15 minutes in. You know what? I can see. I'm certain there's things we can cut out in the beginning here to make it not so long.
Potentially.
But, yeah. Thank you for being so invested.
Yeah, thank you so much for enjoying our campaign updates.
Yeah. We promise we'll talk about it properly when we can.
I feel like you all know so much now anyway.
Yeah, I feel like, you don't know kind of like the beginnings.
This segment has just become that.
Yeah, true.
Really?
Yeah, true.
So I don't know if we would ever need to because you already know so much.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Thanks for caring.
Yeah. Thanks, Karen.
Shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. So, wow, an hour and 17 minutes in, we're actually starting the topic.
That's the longest intro ever.
Yeah, we talked about a lot there. There
Yeah,
was
we did.
you know how like last week I was like, on Monday's episode, we just tell you everything. We're just so excited to get everything told because it's been a week since we filmed.
Yeah.
Watch Thursday's episode, be like, hello, okay, let's go.
Topics now.
Yeah. So these are, you know what? We used to call them unpopular opinions. I feel like these are kind of more like hot takes, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna change it to hot takes.
Yeah, D&D hot takes.
D&D hot takes.
Yeah, like I feel like that has a ring to it, you
hot
know?
takes are cool right now. As
Yeah,
well.
hot takes are in.
Having a take is cool.
Yeah, hot takes.
So these
Because
are
unpopular
hot takes.
opinion, you know, suggests that like they are unpopular when a lot of them end up really not being unpopular.
Yeah, I feel like some people just say unpopular opinion, then say something quite popular, and you're like,
Yeah, well, you know what? The same thing with hot takes. Like,
Yeah.
hot takes are at least a little bit spicy, you know what I mean?
yeah, well, we'll do hot takes because you know it makes us also sound cool.
Yeah.
And you know me.
Young. I'm cool.
I'm hip.
I'm cool.
I'm cool.
I'm a professional.
I'm a professional podcaster.
So, a couple of these are submissions. I don't think there's many, but a couple of submissions, and I will say which ones are. So, this first hot take, this is actually a submission, and this is a submission from the third Jerry, and he goes by him. Thank you
Cheers,
very
Jerry.
much, Jerry. I'm sure we mentioned Jerry in the beginning of this episode as well, for some reason.
Yeah, I said.
He likes malevolence.
Yeah.
Yep. So, my unpopular opinion is simple in its chaos. Using complete sets of dice is boring. Random dice bag for the win. I currently use special individually selected dice for my games, and rarely do they match. Using one or two sets of specifically designed dice just seems too vanilla for me. Thoughts? Chaos, carnage, and crits. Your pact mate. Squad blasted the third Jerry.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Jerry sent a photo.
All right, okay.
with this.
Let me put it up.
So, before we even say anything else, this is the photo that Jerry sent in with it. I'm so sorry, Jerry.
This makes me
Oh my god.
want to die.
That's hell on earth. Jerry, that is absolute hell on earth to me.
I like to have all of my dice.
Yep.
Same sets.
Yep.
Coordinated
Mhm.
in either like I like to line them up. Or
Yep.
I like to have like a few sets and like have all the D6s together, have all the D8s together,
Yep.
have all and I like it to be nice and neat.
Yep.
And
So does Abby. Abby's the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
To be fair, I mix the actual dice types together. Like,
You've
I have
got-
all
you've
the
still
same.
got all the sets. Though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I still have all the sets.
You know, like they're a set, they're all a set.
Yeah.
You know,
So
can
you know
see the
what? To be
the
honest-
sets here.
To be honest, actually, now that I'm looking at Jerry's photo, it isn't too dissimilar to mine.
Do you know what? Looking at your thing,
Yeah.
kind of stresses me out.
Yeah. You know what? Actually,
I kind of don't like this.
I
I don't really like what's going on in here.
you know what, Jerry? I saw that photo. I immediately noped out. However, yeah,
I don't like this. This
Looking-
isn't nice.
looking at mine, I don't have a picture.
Are you? What are you? Are you like a all one
Hold on,
set?
let me-
Keep all the sets together,
I'll
or are
take a picture
you?
with Jack's phone of
Ugh.
what mine looks like, and I'll try to remember to put this in. This is exactly what it looks like right now, and yeah, it's actually very akin to Jerry's.
Sure, what was the time on?
3:55. Very akin to Jerry. So actually, Jerry, you know what? I think I'm with you. I feel like I'm the middleman between you and Abby. I think Josh just kind of puts his all in a
Yeah,
pile.
Josh is just in a pile. That
Matthew
stresses me out.
Matthew separates his D20s. He has so many dice.
He has so many. He has like the big sack of dice.
Yeah, you
but
know,
he
like
does-
those bulk
Yeah,
sets
yeah.
like you can get from like
Matthew-
Alibaba or stuff.
Matthew
He
isn't a
has
particularly like
many.
He doesn't like very lovely sets. He just has
many,
lots of
many,
sets.
many. He
Matthew's
has
in a phase where
huge
he likes
bag.
tiny,
The
tiny
one.
dice.
I like the tiny ones as well. I can see Jerry has a tiny one too.
I don't like the tiny
I
ones.
love the tiny ones.
like the
I
big ones.
absolutely love the tiny
I like
ones.
these ones.
Tiny ones are very cute.
And
He puts them, I am not kidding you, he puts them all in the same bag. He puts his hand in, grabs some, throws them on the table. That's the dice he uses.
that makes me so sad. And then he just organizes them. He just puts like, all right, that's the D6s, that's the D8s, that's the D20s, that's the D, and he just segments them out into
But
like.
to be honest,
But they're just all random.
Yeah, all totally random.
All random.
That's not too dissimilar to what I do because I have, again, you can see I have
You have,
all
like,
the Dixes.
you-
Dicks.
Dicks. You have all of the dicks. All the dicks are in the tray. Every dick in the tray.
Every Dick's in the tray.
You've got a couple of like cohesive sets here.
I do. They're all sets.
Jerry doesn't have
Yeah,
sets.
Jerry. Yours. There's how many D20s is that? 1, 2,
So
3, 4.
Jerry is very much like Matthew.
Yeah, there's 9 D20s and definitely not 9 of the others as well. Granted, you roll
That's
the
the one, yeah.
D20s. But Yeah, I feel like I can't actually rebuke this, Jerry, because I feel like I unfortunately
You're midway between the
I
two.
am midway between
Jerry's
the
a
two.
little too much like Matthew.
Yeah, Jerry, you err definitely more on the side of absolute complete chaos.
So, don't like this opinion.
Yeah.
Get it out of here.
What is it? Unrestful?
Unrestful.
What is it? Rancid vibes?
Rancid vibes?
No, Jerry, you're not rancid vibes.
No, you're not.
You're hella
this
good
is.
vibes.
You're great vibes. This is not.
Rancid vibes.
The way you organise your dice makes me very sad.
Even though, I'm very similar. But
I'd like to have just a couple of sets all laid out neatly, and that's it.
Yeah, Abby's exactly the same.
It's a bit different because I have my bag for like, if this is a monster that has like a big breath attack or something, I've got to like grab all my D6s and stuff like that. But then when I'm finished with it, they all go back away.
Yeah.
And then I have my
See, that's one thing Matthew is great for. If there's an attack that has loads of dice.
As long as you're a rogue.
It's just the way he just goes, there you go. And he just, oh my God, it's hell on earth.
Yeah.
Absolute hell on earth. What about you guys? How do you organize your dice? Are you a Jerry or are you a Jack? Which one? Let us know.
Don't like it.
So on to hot take number 2, and this is a hot take, and I feel like Jack. There's
no, it's gonna be some rangers or monks.
I feel like you're in the firing line here, baby. So this was submitted by Spider, and they use any pronouns.
Is this a submission?
This is a submission. This is
Spider?
a submission.
I'm gonna wait.
It's very well articulated. So, let your players play what they want, and if you're running into problems, then work with them on it instead of banning the class and/or race outright, because that's just lazy DMing. Now,
okay, well, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I very much agree with that.
Very much so.
Yeah, love that.
Aside from homebrew content, DMs shouldn't ban race or classes without good reason. And it doesn't fit my world isn't a good reason. It's the DM's equivalent of saying it's what my character would do.
Yeah, that's not true. It's like the thing is, it's like, that's fine, but tell me right now, mine is a Norse Viking based campaign. You want to come in as a Warforged artificer? You just don't exist in my world. Like it's not because I'm lazy. I've thought of a setting that just doesn't include that.
Me knowing what the rest of the submission is. Now I'm a DM myself.
Oh God, here we go.
And I've been doing it for 5+ years for dozens of players. And I've banned content before, but the reasons are always very clear and specific. Once I ran a Chaos Magic themed adventure and restricted my players to using card content to keep things simple, since all the monsters were going to be crazy homebrew. I also have plans for an Oops All Spellcasters adventure, and the reason is the players are being captured to use as magical batteries, and that doesn't really make sense if the character isn't magic in some way. That's cool.
Yeah.
But even then, I try my best to accommodate my players' wishes, and generally people can play whatever they want. I know it doesn't really affect me, so ban whatever you want, really. But I can't help but feel annoyed when I hear people say they ban certain races and classes for seemingly no reason.
Yeah, but that's it. I do have a reason.
Especially if the problem isn't mechanical. For example, I see people ban Warforged and Artificers all the time, which is funny because one of my few characters actually is a Warforged Artificer. I assume it's because you don't want to have technology in your world. But in that case, just say the tech is purely magic-based and ignore the existing lore. It's very easy. On the other hand, if you are banning things for mechanical reasons because you think they're broken, I hate to say this, but that just means you're not the best DM you could be yet. And the only way to get better at balancing your encounters is by getting more experience.
Yeah, that's all it is. You don't have to be the best DM in the world at the beginning.
100%.
But don't ban things because you're scared of them.
Yeah, totally.
Do it and learn from them.
Totally. It's like a shit sandwich, isn't it?
But the thing is, it's like, I think you said one thing there, Spider, and then also said another thing because, like I get, like you said, like, I ban things because, that just doesn't happen. But then saying, oh, you can't ban Warforged and Artificer, just, make that happen. It's like, well, you said, I agree with everything that you said.
I do too.
I agree with everything that you said.
Yeah.
But, Warforged Artificers just don't fucking exist in my world,
you know what?
so I'm not going to put them in.
I picked this because I saw the Warforged. To be fair, I was like, I completely agree with this.
Yeah,
I totally agree with it.
And I have a narrative, my world just isn't that far advanced yet.
Yeah, I don't see how the distinction of my world isn't that advanced yet to my players have to have magic because they're being used as magical batteries. I don't see how they're not the same thing.
They are the same thing.
Or I suppose they're the same spectrum, maybe different parts of the spectrum,
like,
right?
Like mine is a Norse-based, Viking-based sort of campaign, but it's set in a fantasy world. Like if you go back to the Viking era, there isn't wizards. You know what I mean? Like that didn't happen in actual real life. But it's D&D, so we have wizards and we have sorcerers and stuff
Part
like
of me
that.
does wonder though, had someone, and let's face it, it only would have been Matthew. If Matthew had come to you and said, "Can I play a Warforged Artificer? Here is my reasons why," I feel like you would let him do that.
No, I wouldn't.
Would you really not? I can see a world in which you would have let that happen. Like you could have. As Spider says, there is way to themes it.
It's the thing. Like it's the thing is, it's you come in, you want to be a gunslinger. It's like I can't do that because guns don't exist.
Yeah, but then again, it's like, could you theme it so it wasn't a gun? It was
oh yeah, that's fine. You can be a gunslinger, but it be a heavy crossbow instead of a gun.
Yeah, I feel
fine.
I feel like that's kind of what Spider's saying here.
You can
right?
be a Warforged Artificer in my world, but you can't be made out of metal.
Yes.
And your tinkering has to look like something else. You can be those things.
Yeah.
You can't be a person made out of metal who makes little metal creations or something like that, because that doesn't exist in my world.
Yeah.
You can be a Warforged and just be like a thick-skinned person. Do you know what I mean? Like that's why people take it, because they have the natural armor.
Yeah.
You get a really great base AC because you're made out of metal.
Yeah.
You can be that if you want, but you just can't be made out of metal and be an automaton.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't exist in my world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
I think I do genuinely think that is what Spider's saying here. I think Spider is saying you can find ways around, and I know you would have.
Yeah.
I can
just reskin it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to be an artificer, that's fine, but we'll just have to make it look a certain way.
Yeah.
You can't have little metal tinkerers things flying around.
And I think that's the difference between being like, no, you absolutely cannot play this. It's banned. I do feel like they're giving the examples of situations in which Spider has banned things.
Yeah, then banned things.
It's funny.
I get it, and I get the point that they were trying to make.
I do as well, and
I agree with you, Spider. I agree with you, Spider.
I do fully agree with you. And you know what? I just needed to put that in because of the Warforged Artificer thing. I feel like that is the really common. That's the commonly banned thing, right?
Yeah. Well, let's just have a look here. So you get a Constitution score +2, and you get one ability choice of that you want.
Is this for Warforged?
Yeah. Age doesn't really matter. Alignment doesn't really matter. Size, whatever. You're going to be heavy. That's the point.
Yeah.
Base walking speed of 30 feet. Construct resilience. We can just reskin that to make it whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your AC is going to be better because, I don't know, you can grow up in the mountains and you just got thick skin. Like Goliath sort of thing. I don't know. If you want to be it because of the mechanical purposes, that's fine. We'll just call it something that's not Warforged.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if someone come to you, you would have been like, yeah, okay.
No, yeah, that's fine. But if somebody came to me and says, I want to be a Warforged, but I want to be made out of metal, then I'd say no.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Although, I agree. Although, there is an element of forging in your world. I could see a world in which,
not sentient forging.
No, not sentient forging, but
yeah.
And you know what? The last bit of, if you're thinking of banning things because they're broken, I completely agree. I completely agree with that. I think
the thing is, it's you can just learn.
Yeah.
You can just learn.
Yeah.
About your players and the fighting styles, and if somebody comes in and they're they do this crazy multiclass because they want to be strong. The only time I don't like it is when they shit all over the rest of the party.
That's when it's the problem.
That's when it's the problem.
Yeah, agreed.
It's if they do 90% of the damage and the rest of the group does 10.
Yeah.
Because, they're just so fucking strong. That's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
But for the DM, some builds in our party are slightly stronger than other builds in our party. That doesn't matter to me because I know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And I've only learned how to handle it by, Josh came in with a fucking half-orc
Vengeance Paladin.
and was just very good at knowing how to play the game. That's for a first time DM, not the easiest thing to balance. Just getting advantage, smiting everything, and then just like waiting for a crit, and then just dumping all your smites in.
Yeah,
it's hard to balance.
Yeah,
but I learned from him doing that.
Yeah, you did, and you were a better DM because of it.
Fucking Circle of the Shepherd Druid.
Yeah,
also an extremely potent subclass.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
A lot of healing capability and a summoner.
Yeah, like I don't think out of no fault of anyone's own, I don't think you just took it easy on me with your first picks.
No, we didn't. No.
I did say, I said, I want all the books open because I want to like learn how to DM.
Yeah.
And I did, and fuck me. You threw me in right at the deep end.
Yeah, definitely. And once again, I think there is totally a middle ground in all of that, right? But I can't think of anything, I'm thinking like spell-wise. I can't think of anything spell-wise that's been banned from our tables. We banned the Lucky Feet. But I feel like that's a very common thing.
That's a common thing. And that is only purely because, you roll the dice to figure out an outcome.
Yeah.
But then if you can just be like, nah, I don't want to fail this time.
Yeah.
It just sort of takes away the point of rolling the dice, in my opinion.
But, there's, true. But, there's the argument of, it's a resource, right?
Yeah, it is a resource and you have finite. I get that. But it's like, it depends. Like, we don't ask for that many rolls at my table.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we like to tell the story, and only if you try something or ask me something or we are in combat, that's when we roll. But we also have advantage tokens on the table.
Yeah.
And I let you flip them over
Yeah.
when you get a natural one.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah. You know what? The only spell I can think that actually we both banned when we DM'd was Lehman's Tiny Hut.
I don't care.
No, I guess you don't actually, yeah.
Like, you can take Lehman's... Matthew hates it.
Understandably.
Matthew despises it.
I very much understand. I feel like, and, the context to that is, Lehman's Tiny Hut, it basically means that you can have a short rest or a long rest completely scot-free, kind of whenever you want it to, right?
The wizard can't.
Sorry.
Doesn't it take an hour to put up? No, it takes 10 minutes to put up.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
You can do it as a ritual.
So as long as you can find 10 minutes, you can have yourself an hour.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's pretty much an undisturbed, perfect
and,
rest.
Like night's sleep.
And it took a lot away from night combats.
Yeah,
and we were getting short rests when we shouldn't have, basically.
Yeah.
And I banned it as well.
I don't give a shit. You can have it if you want. I don't really care.
Yeah, fair enough.
Personally.
But I banned it because I was scared of the repercussions. And as Spider says, it probably would have made you a better DM, which I agree.
Yeah.
But I also think once again, the kind of it'll make you a better DM is kind of verging on the line of tough love a little bit, which I totally do not subscribe to.
No,
I do not agree with tough love at all.
I do think there's a counter for almost everything in the game.
Yeah.
There is do you know what I mean? You're a dungeon master who can make whatever damage type you want, make the enemies as big as you want, make them as fast as you want, give them as many attacks as you want, do anything you want. You can make the monsters up.
Yeah.
There can be a Tarask. If you know what I mean? You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So use the resources that you've got. If you're struggling with a certain subclass, there'll be videos on how to deal with it.
And it's not 100%.
Not deal with it as in kill that player. It's deal with it.
Deal with them.
As in deal with it as in what's the best way around it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What's the best way for me to not feel just completely useless?
It's an experience thing again. It's an experience thing, 100%.
If you ever feel like you can't handle a combat, it's probably due to experience.
Yeah, totally.
A subclass or a class that your player picks, it's probably down to some experience.
Agreed. And very much so.
Just have a look. There's ways to deal with it, and there's ways to find resources to deal with.
Yeah, agreed. So, is it a hot take? Maybe. Although, no, I don't know.
Really?
Well, no. Saying, look, you shouldn't just ban things outright. I don't think that's a hot take.
I think some people would think it's a hot take.
Do you think?
Because I think, the Twilight Cleric.
Yeah.
People just banned it.
Really?
Yeah, loads of people ban it.
I mean, yeah. It's again, it's really strong, but again, you would be fine with the Twilight Cleric.
Yeah.
I was fine for the very brief time we had a Twilight Cleric.
I think, it's you just look at what it does and be like, okay, let's just find a way for it to not do that.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that every combat.
Yeah, it's not that easy for people too.
Yeah. Do you want to get your coffee?
my goodness.
Get a coffee.
I don't know why I'm yawning so much suddenly.
But yeah, Twilight Cleric. It's all about the radius. It's like find a way to pull them out the radius.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like there you go. There's your counter.
Yeah.
Don't do it every time because that feels bad.
Bad. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I feel like people go like too much the other way.
they go too far the other way.
People go like too far into, well, this is really powerful. How can I stop them using it? And it's like people picked the class for a reason because they wanted to do the stuff.
Yeah, so it's like, you have like a Kraken style monster that can just grab them and then just pull them out of the aura. It's like, that's fine to do, but if you did that every combat, then what was the fucking point in picking the subclass? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Every now and then you can disrupt that normal thing that they do.
Yeah.
That feels good because you're challenging them.
Do you remember that Am I the Arsehole we did where that person picked the ranger and like the sniper ranger so they could snipe from ages away and suddenly a demon would always appear behind them every time?
It's like
feels bad.
That's fine now and then.
Yeah.
But
every
if you
time?
do that every time,
Bad.
it's like you're just taking the fucking point away from what that person's trying to do.
Exactly.
Which feels like shit.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I know.
go get your energy drink.
I'm
Go on.
so
Go get your energy drink.
I don't know why I was yawning so much. I was literally fine. We paused, and now I've come back, and I am so tired. I'm fine.
I'll get it.
Everyone, no, it's all right.
Come on, I'll get it for you. I got her the energy drink.
Got the energy drink. It's not in the regular cup. I don't want to talk about why. That's a story for another time.
That's a story for next episode.
Mm-hmm. That's a story for my deathbed.
Yeah.
So, on to number 3. So, it is okay and even expected for high level or high intelligence enemies to counterspell healing or revivify, especially since, theoretically, the enemy does not know what spell is being cast unless they somehow have 2 reactions. I feel like...
Yeah, you agree?
I agree, but I feel like that is a hot take because, oh my god, having your healing...
I've done it before.
You have done it before.
I've counterspelled a heal.
And it has, been awful.
I've never counterspelled a revivify.
No.
Because usually, unless it's like endgame boss fights, it's very rare for people, in my games, it's very rare for people to die mid-combat.
Look at the dog's face. Why does he look like that?
Just looking a bit scrumbly.
Sorry, oh my god, he's a bit scrumbly right now. Oh, you know when dogs wake up and they've had their face pressed against the bed?
And it's like...
oh, he looks so fucked up right now. Honey.
Oh, dear.
Sorry.
Yeah. So normally in my combats, people don't really die like mid-combat. They die end of the combat.
Yeah, and you know what? If someone did die mid-combat, I think we would probably metagame a little bit and leave them dead.
Yeah, because you know that the rest of the combat isn't going to take a minute.
Yeah, because Revivify, if you didn't know, has a 1 minute.
They can only have been dead for a minute.
Yeah. What's the word? Time limit.
Yeah. Time limit. It's a 1 minute time limit. If it's gone over a minute.
Yeah. And you know, combat lasts typically a minute.
Not really.
A minute per round. A minute per combat. 60 seconds. 6
seconds per round.
Wow, 6 seconds per
so
round.
10 rounds.
Oh my goodness.
10 rounds is like the longest combat of all time. I've never had a combat go probably really more than 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah. But no, I agree.
6 max, and that might be like boss fight stuff.
I agree. Now, do I think it's expected for a high level, high intelligence enemy to counterspell it? No, but I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be expected because I don't put that many counterspelling enemies in the game.
No, you don't actually.
I only put them in now and then.
Yeah,
and it's only if like 2 people have had counterspell this game. Mirrodin had counterspell, and Angerboda has counterspell.
Yes, and they were huge.
Mirrodin was a boss fight, and
Mirrodin was a wizard as well.
Yeah, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that's sort of expected.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
I don't like to have too many counterspells because she feels good at cast spells.
Yeah. Do you think counterspelling a revivify is a bit cruel though?
No.
Do you not?
No, I don't. Because if your enemy is fighting for their lives and they've killed one of you, what, they're just gonna see you get brought back to life with the ability to stop that and not?
True.
Do you know what I mean?
You know what? I think the only reason I say that is because of the component.
Yeah.
You would lose the component.
Yeah, you would.
Which, if Revivify has a 300 gold diamond cost to it, and you make it very easy for us to get them.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of people don't. A lot of people make it really difficult to get hold of the
Yeah.
diamonds. And I think that would feel so bad.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you know how you were like, Jacob from XP to Level 3 said this. I don't stun my player characters anymore
Yeah.
because it feels really bad. Like, this kind of feels like the same. Like, to counterspell or revivify and then to lose the component.
Yeah.
I would feel real bad.
Yeah.
But maybe this is the DM versus player thing.
Oh no, I don't disagree that it would feel bad.
Yeah.
And I think I would feel bad doing it.
Yeah. Would
But
you do it?
I think if my enemy was
Fighting for their
lives,
Yeah.
they would see it and try and counterspell it.
Yeah.
But you know, again, my combats don't tend to be so brutal where somebody can outright, unless it's like really, really gone very wrong.
Yes.
You shouldn't
and
die.
we've played it like dummies. Yeah.
At the you should be dying like towards the end of a combat.
Yeah.
If you're going to die.
Yeah. Unless you've taken on something you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But that's the situation if something goes really wrong,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. But man, having your heals counterspelled feels so bad.
Yeah.
But enemies would do it.
Of course they would.
They would, of course they would.
I don't see anything wrong with it, but that's just the way I run my game.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, I don't see anything wrong with it the way you run your game as
And
well.
do you wanna know what? I would be fine if somebody was like, I don't counterspell heals and I don't counterspell.
I would
revive.
understand.
I would understand.
I would understand as well.
I would be happy to play at a table that did that.
Yeah, same. That, you know, if you didn't, I would obviously, you can counter a spell or revivify, whatever. But, you know, I would be fine with it in your game because I know you make the diamonds really like readily accessible to us. Basically, as long as we have the gold for it, you'll find a way for us to get one.
If you want to buy a diamond, I'll probably. You know, the most I've ever had is 2 diamonds.
Yeah. So I feel like that is a hot take. I feel like a lot of people would be really upset about that one.
But the thing is, it's like that's fine if that's the game that you want to play.
Totally.
This is the thing, as per usual.
Yeah. We we didn't give the disclaimer because we had to stop for the dog, but all of these, yes, unpopular opinions, hot takes, whatever. If you agree with them and they work for you, that's fine.
Yeah,
don't let us
that's
fucking
fine.
idiots
and,
tell you
like,
otherwise.
Like, it depends because a lot of people play D&D for a different reason. Do you play because you want heavy role play? Then I can see you not counterspelling heals.
Yeah.
And
Are you
revivifies.
okay with your character dying permanently?
If you like really tough hardcore games, then you're probably gonna be like, yeah, I'd counterspell a heal and
Totally.
a revivify.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
that's just, but I can see why people wouldn't enjoy this, but that's fine. Doesn't mean it's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So on to number 4, and it's short and simple. Having 2 NPCs talking to one another is the worst and hardest part of DMing, at least for me.
I regularly say this. If there's, I will literally break immersion for a second to be like, and that's fine. They have the conversation,
And that's that.
but I'm not going to sit here and talk to myself because that feels real bad. You know, like it was like Josh has got like an entity attached to him who's a very nice Scottish man.
Yeah, we love
and
him. He's called Orphy.
and he trains under Thurin, the person. When they finally met,
We were all like, Orphy, it's
Orphy, and I
Thurin.
was like, oh yeah.
And you had
I
to-
literally like said one line from each of them, and I was like, and then they catch up like old pals, and that's it.
There's been a few times in this campaign, actually, where we haven't intentionally, but we've been like, oh, and we've made your NPCs interact. It's like we tried to set up
Yeah.
Ingvilf and Dagmar.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to do that?
I think, I'll say bits, but I'm very conscious of, people come and play Dungeons and Dragons because they want to roleplay. They don't want to sit and watch me roleplay. I'll roleplay with somebody.
Well,
but-
see, I feel like that's. I don't think that's true. I think because we formed such meaningful relationships with these NPCs, we actually do want to see them interact with one another.
Oh yeah, and I don't mind, like Thurin and
Orphy.
Orphy. That didn't need
No,
to. That didn't
yeah,
need to
no,
be.
yeah,
But
yeah.
when Zissa and like
Tia.
Tia, if they meet again,
Yeah, definitely.
like that is something that the thing is you've set up a situation now where the moment that happens, you're not going to be there. So I'm like,
yeah, woohoo!
because it's just awkward to have to sit there and role play with yourself.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It is,
Yeah,
it is,
I
it
agree.
is.
Definitely, I agree.
You know,
I just thought it was a nice little silly.
because
funny
that's
one.
happened so many
It
times
has,
this
especially
campaign.
this campaign.
know,
This
yeah,
campaign, we've really made you role play with yourself.
But the thing
to
is,
be honest,
I'm more than happy to I love roleplay as
Yeah.
a dungeon master. Like You know, I write up speeches for my bad guys. I have specific music. I change the lighting for like things that happen. You know, I love it. It's great. But I'm happy to roleplay with you and stuff like that. I will not roleplay with myself. That's a step too far for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sadly.
And there's going to be people who absolutely love it. There's going to be people who love role-playing with themselves.
Is that good?
No.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I think you need to be conscious that, you know,
Yeah.
you're a dungeon master for your players.
Yeah.
And you know, you're supposed to have fun too. But don't be having a conversation with yourself.
We did once have a situation where we joined a D&D game and the DM had a conversation between their characters
They're
for like
NPCs.
for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And no one could get a word in edgewise, and we were like,
It was just the most awkward
it was
thing.
really awkward.
Like, God, is like, if you want to do that, that's fine, but make sure your players are having a good time.
Totally.
Like,
make sure they're like enthralled in the conversation.
Yeah,
but
if it's a fucking conversation that no one cares about.
I cannot stress enough how this was level 1 meeting in the tavern, the barkeep talking to
First session,
the waiter.
The barkeep was talking to the bard, and they were asking them to play specific songs. I don't think any of us had said anything yet, and he was like pretending to tune his guitar and stuff like that, and we were all just like,
okay. And hey,
can
listen,
we roleplay now?
Listen, love to watch a bit of roleplay. I could watch you roleplaying with your NPCs forever. I truly could, but that's because we're like connected to them. That was just strange.
I need, you know, like, that's not, to me, this is just to me, that's not what I'm there for.
Agreed.
I'm
Yeah,
there
same,
for my
yeah.
players to have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, I love watching all of you guys roleplay, and I'll happily sit there silently for hours.
Yeah, I know you will. I know you will.
You know?
I know. So yeah,
I agree.
I agree. I think
I agree.
that's so funny.
It's weird.
I think all of you DMs can think of a moment where you've had to do this and it's been awful.
Well, every time I've had to do it, I definitely just pass it on as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Unless it's something very
Important,
meaningful,
yeah, of
very
course.
meaningful, important, and
Yeah,
important. But you
of
know, those
course.
conversations normally include you all.
True. So, onto number 4.
Five.
So this one, great copyright struck.
Copyright strike
Nice.
straight away.
Go on, another one.
Oh
Oh my god.
I don't know how it goes from that point.
I don't either, to be honest.
Anyway.
Oh. So, number 5.
5.
Druids can hunt and kill, chop down trees, and live a mostly normal life in the woods, and still be a perfectly normal druid who loves nature and understands sacrifice. You have no idea how many people have major issues with the above. I agree.
People like in 1D&D, they've just taken out that can't wear metal armor thing.
Yeah, I feel like that added to the stipulation of this, right? And Thursday's episode, we're going over the new 1D&D druid for obvious reasons.
Druid and Paladin.
Yeah, I think I agree, and I fell into this with my first druid, Willow.
That's fine. But the thing is, this is the thing. You can be like that.
Mhm.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But don't be nasty to people who aren't like that.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
That's
yeah,
where the issue arises.
Totally. Like druid. Willow was your stereotypical druid. Loved nature, preferred nature over people.
Nothing wrong with that.
Loved animals.
Nothing
wouldn't
wrong with
eat
that.
animals.
Nope.
Wouldn't wear
Nothing
metal.
wrong with that.
Yeah, like, and you know that's totally fine,
That's
valid
fine.
way to do it, definitely. But also this,
Yeah.
like, do you know what? What changed my mind about the way you perceive druids? Because I can really badly fall into stereotypes sometimes. I think
There's nothing wrong with the stereotypes, though.
stereotypes, maybe not stereotypes, archetypes, I suppose, are good for a reason, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason they exist.
And they're fine to use.
Yeah. And I feel sometimes I put myself literally in a box sometimes with these things. Don't know why. It's just how my brain works.
Yeah.
But a DM, I wanted to play a wood elf, and the DM was like, well, the wood elves are actually quite like a violent people. And I was a druid as well, and he was like, they're like druid wood elves. They understand like the cycle of life. They understand that things die, and to live, you need to eat these things and kill these things, and you need to cultivate the land around you to grow. And I was like, damn, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, but that's it. The thing is, again, this is the thing. Both of them are fine, but it's when people are like, "No, you're a druid. You can't chop down a tree." It's like,
Yeah.
why not?
Totally.
Because you're just putting me in a box
Yeah.
that I don't want to be in for
I agree.
literally no reason.
And yeah, I think a lot of people do have issue with that.
It's
I think
fucking
yeah.
stupid. Then that's fucking stupid.
And it does stem a lot of it. I think. Well, not a lot of it, but the whole they won't wear metal armor.
Yeah, that was such a fucking stupid thing to put in the game.
Yeah, and the thing is, again, I understand why they did it because archetypes are a thing for a reason.
Yeah,
I get it.
Let the player make that choice.
Yeah,
don't
true.
make the choice for that player.
True, but that was also put in at a time when there wasn't as much open, like it was a lot more rigid back then. I think when that stipulation was put in.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Now we're kind of coming into a new age of D&D where literally you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah, but
right?
that's the fucking point of a fantasy.
Totally.
Isn't it?
Yeah, totally. And it's I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Like nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
That's
people flavor things however they want.
That sounds more like a ranger, but if you wanted to play a ranger style that was a druid, why not?
Well,
That's fine.
Rayla, like Rayla's a druid, but she doesn't subscribe to any of the.
No, she doesn't care at all.
She couldn't care less.
Fuck.
No, she couldn't care less.
Oh.
And she understands that things live, things die.
Things live, things die.
That's just how it is. She couldn't give less of a fuck.
Nah.
But she's a psycho. So.
Yeah, but she's still a druid.
Yeah, she is.
She's still a druid.
Yeah, true.
There's not like just because you aren't like that doesn't mean I'm like, oh well, actually take those levels out of druid, please.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like it's the whole like don't feel like you have to put yourself in a box because of these things.
Just like the stereotypes are there. That's fine if you want to submit to that and subscribe to that.
Yeah.
I love some of the stereotypes. They're amazing, especially when it comes to like things like monk and ranger.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. But it doesn't mean you can't play it different ways.
Yeah.
If you want to play it different ways, do it.
Yeah. And again, stereotype. We don't mean stereotype. We mean archetype. Stereotypes are obviously not good. Archetypes.
Yeah.
I agree. Do you think that's a hot take?
I think some people would think it's a hot take.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
It's like the whole thing. It's just like, oh, warlock equal bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Rogue equal bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rogue equals steal.
Yes.
It's like,
yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's like sneak attack equals hiding. It's like, shut up.
Oh my god. Yeah.
All of these things,
totally.
They're just boundaries that you're setting
for no reason, and it makes everyone have
boundaries.
less fun. Yeah. Agreed.
Stop being a loser.
Agreed. So, number 6.
Yeah.
Number 6. The DM should be the happiest person at the table. Not to say that the players should be miserable, but the DM is the one who devotes a lot of time to set up situations and encounters for the players. It's important to not forget that the person behind the screen is also a person who has hopes and dreams and is sometimes deserving of an ounce of respect. Oh, I feel like this came from, unfortunately.
Yeah. Because, do you know what? I bet you there is some well, I've seen some tables that treat the DM without an ounce of respect.
Yeah.
So I get it. Should they be the happiest? I don't know. Yeah, it would be awesome if they were the happiest.
Yeah, I feel like everyone should equally.
Everyone should equally be just as happy as each other.
Yeah, everyone should equally be as happy.
But I think the problem is because a lot of DMs are like the least happy.
Yeah,
that's where these takes come from.
I wonder why it always comes down to that though. Why?
Fucking the thing is, it's like, do you remember when we saw that clip on TikTok?
Oh no!
Of that DM who was stood up at the end of the table. And that guy was just throwing dice, and he's like, "Oh, he fails.
Oh my god!
Now we're in the positive energy plane,
yes.
and we're healing for this and this and this." It's
yes.
That is where I think this sort of thing comes from.
Yeah,
it's like just that absolute like DM versus player mentality.
Definitely, and the DM's always gonna lose
most of the time. Because is the DM gonna lose? I think there's 50-50 circumstance of which one's going to lose.
Yeah, true.
But the problem is there's like 3, 4, 5, 6 people around the table.
That's it.
If they're all trying to just dunk on the DM, that can feel
like you're being ganged up on.
Totally.
But also it could go the other way where the DM is the sole person in control.
We've seen a lot of those situations.
Yeah, we have, unfortunately.
Everyone should be equally as happy.
Yeah, I agree, but I think again people do forget that
the DM is a player.
Yeah, and I think people forget that the DM, like, I don't know how to word this.
Puts a lot of hard work and effort and time and their own emotions into the game.
Yeah, I think
a lot of people forget that.
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm trying to say here.
Go on, try and articulate.
Like, the DM, especially if it's like a homebrew world, right? Like, the OP ends it here saying they have hopes and dreams, and the DM has a way that they think things are going to pan out.
Yeah.
And regardless of if they pan out that way or not, they still had that thought.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you put any group of people in a room who all have different like ideas of how things are going to go, and it's someone's probably in that not going to be happy with how it goes, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't really know what I'm trying to say there. I don't really know how I'm trying to articulate that.
Like, there is an ideal scenario for the DM. It's like, when you think of a campaign, you even though you maybe shouldn't, or you should try not to, you probably think of what's going to happen at the end.
Well, of course you do. I think that's the first thing you think of,
and
right?
there are so many factors along the way. You're playing a dice-based game, by the way, which is a chance-based game. The odds are normally in your favor with modifiers and things like that. But things can go wrong for you and the players.
Yeah.
So like, to get to that end goal where you want to get to, it's fucking hard to get it there.
Yeah, and again, there's a lot of, as we just said in the beginning, there's a lot of setup.
Yeah,
I think a lot of the time there's a lot of setup.
Look,
to
my
things.
fucking campaign, 29 fucking sessions in.
Yeah,
29 sessions in, probably 5 hours each. What's that?
Oh, God, don't ask me. Absolutely could not tell you. Not a single clue.
Yeah, we played for like 4 or 5 hours.
I'd say we play for 4 hours, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so...
Go on.
Oh.
Why don't you just type it on the numbers?
No. 116 hours.
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
116 hours of setup.
Yeah. How many days is that? Go on.
24 hours. It's about 4.5 days.
Yeah, you could have said anything and I would have been like, yep.
About close to 5 days, 4.5, 5 days.
Wild.
Do you know what I mean? Of setup.
Yeah.
Nothing but setup.
Yeah. And that's why it feels so good when it pays off, right?
Yeah, it does, but that's the problem. What if it doesn't?
Well, yeah, and it's like a lot of games, unfortunately, don't make it to the end.
To the conclusion.
And I think that's another thing that kind of adds into the DM having a potentially worse time than everyone else,
I know there's somebody that I know who just joins campaigns knowing fine well that they're not going to make it out. And that is, in my opinion, such a huge sign of disrespect.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm not sure what we're talking about.
I know a player.
I thought you were talking about
No.
DM.
I know a player that joins games knowing full well that they're not going to see it through to the end. They just do it because they've got FOMO.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, I had that so backwards.
And that is just a massive sign of disrespect for a DM.
I fully agree.
Like, if you aren't thinking that you're going to see this campaign the whole way through, then do not fucking join.
I completely agree with this, and I feel like this applies to a lot of things, right? And hey, I used to be guilty of this, not in terms of D&D, but I used to be guilty of this in terms of being a human being.
Yeah.
Like, I would commit to things because I didn't want to be left out.
Yeah, and do you want to know what? It's like, if you join and things just don't turn out,
I feel like that's different.
That's different. That's completely different.
Yeah, it's
like,
joining like last minute on a whim. And it's like, you don't understand. Or maybe you do understand and you just don't care.
And you just don't care, which is even worse.
How much extra work for your DM that is, especially if your DM is someone who builds the world around the characters, who wants to have your backstory and include it in. We've all been guilty of it. We have.
Yeah, I've joined campaigns that I haven't been able to see the conclusion of.
Yeah, same.
Because things just came up.
Yeah.
But, I go to that DM and I say, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so much for letting me join. I'm really sorry that I had to quit. But, it's like, I've never joined a campaign not wanting to see it to the end.
Yeah, totally.
I write a fucking backstory because I want to see its conclusion.
Yeah,
do you know
absolutely.
what I mean?
Agreed. And, sometimes things just don't work out. There's nothing wrong. One game that we tried to join, we went to the first session. It was nothing like what we thought it was. And we were honest and we said, we're really sorry.
And that DM was so nice about it.
Oh my God. So nice.
They were like,
it.
why did you not like enjoy it?
We told them exactly why.
It was too realistic for us.
It was too old school.
It was too old school and we just didn't enjoy it.
We said, and then the DM was like, yeah, that's fair enough.
Fair enough. And,
we went
still
in.
Friends with them now, it's fine.
We went in with the expectation of playing in that campaign till the end.
Yeah.
So there is a difference.
Yeah.
But joining campaigns knowing that you're not going to stick it out. This is why I don't. We have a Discord. We have a lot of games running in the Discord. like we're at a point now where there's multiple D&D games that have been started, that are about to start, loads of one-shots going on.
Yeah.
And we get asked regularly to join them. And I would fucking love to.
I would love to.
Oh
Trust
my
me,
God,
believe me.
I would
love to join
to.
your campaign and play all of the characters that I've got in my head.
So much. Like, you know, some of the friends we've made and some of our mods as well, they're starting games. Oh, I would love to,
but
I
just know that I can't commit to it.
That's it. I say it all the time. I know.
A one shot, on the other hand, I can commit to it.
A one shot, even then, I don't think I could because of the type of person I am.
I can.
Oh, Jack could. Yeah, Jack absolutely could. But
invite me to one shot.
I just think I would. Sometimes I get really close to saying yes as well because I'm excited and I don't want to miss out and I want to play with my friends and I want to have a good time. But I know there's no way sustainably I can play in another campaign.
I can't play another campaign.
We said it again. It's been a long time since we decided together we could not play in another camp. We could not play more than one D&D a week.
That's it.
You know, because we're adults and you know we play every week. We meet face to face.
That doesn't mean to say that you can't play more than one a week.
No,
There's
of course
plenty of people who
not.
can. Matthew plays. He would play every day of the week if he
would. Oh, absolutely.
Matthew
he
plays
would.
in 2, and you know he's totally fine, and he can commit to that
Totally.
because he knows he can.
Exactly.
And Matthew only joins the campaign if he knows
he's going to see it through to the end. Exactly.
So yeah.
But so
Respect.
I promise I'm not joining your games because I don't want to. I want to more than anything. But for everyone's sake, I know I would not be able to commit. There was a point where me and Jack were playing in 3 D&D games a week that were all face to face, and we were miserable because of it. We couldn't do it, and we had to drop out of 2 of them.
One of them,
and one cancelled. One got finished.
Yeah.
And we had to do that, and it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling having to drop out. So sorry, that ended up being a bit of a rant.
That was a rant.
It ended up being a bit of a rant, but that's what you
some fucking respect.
That's what you subscribe to here. I'm so hungry. Oh, we're having spaghetti bolognese, and I'm
having spaghetti bolognese.
I'm very
I thought you were
excited.
going to call for a takeaway.
Oh, I could have a takeaway. I could always have a takeaway. So on to number 6. Number 6.
7.
Number 7.
Number 7. You said that with such conviction.
I did. I really did.
Number 6.
Number
Definitely
6.
6. Couldn't be any more 6.
On to number 49.
7.
Tragic backstories are not necessary for interesting characters.
Correct.
Correct. I agree. Although there's part of me. Listen. There's part of me that's like, that's not true.
I mean, come on. You've all heard every backstory that I've written.
Yeah,
they're all
laced with tragedy.
I
laced
love
with it.
And you know, that's just the sort of story that I enjoy.
Yeah.
I have done stories without tragedy, and you know, they've been great as well. But at the same time,
oh, his leg's stuck. Oh, is he all right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I thought his leg was stuck.
His leg's not stuck.
Oh.
They don't need to be, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yes, totally. I think, you know, part of me, listen, we've all lived a life.
Yeah.
There's been tragedy that's happened to all of us.
Tragedy along the way, baby.
That's human nature,
Yeah.
that we've all been through something. And I feel like your characters would too. Now, there is a difference between having it be like a whole, like, misery incarnate type thing. But, you know, I think tragedy. Listen,
tragedy.
Maybe I'm biased because I like a little bit of tragedy.
See, that's the thing, though. I always make my characters, the tragedy isn't what defines them.
Totally, yeah.
Like, I like the tragedy to be there, but they're like changed because of it.
Yes.
They have a positive outlook because of it.
Yeah, and
So,
I feel like
that's
maybe
just fucking me.
I can't help but feel like maybe this post is more about like I'm an orphan who
The
was
Liam
kicked in the
O'Briens.
street. Yeah, but even then,
Yeah, but Liam O'Brien's just, you know, he's
he's
actor.
a master.
He
He's a master.
He can
at
do
it.
that.
And listen, anyone comes to any of Liam O'Brien's characters, we have a problem. Liam
You know,
O'Brien.
I think, God, who was more? I think Caleb was more tragic than Vax.
I don't.
I think Caleb was more tragic than Vax. Was Caleb more tragic than Vax? I think Vax was.
Sound off in the comments.
Vax was
I won't
more,
read them because of
Vax
spoilers.
was more like emotional about it, and like, but I think Caleb is very like, he wears the misery all day, every day.
Yeah.
And he wears it as like a badge of honor.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
you know, again, Liam O'Brien's a fucking professional actor who
Yes.
can do that
Yes,
very well.
yes, of
and
course.
I do understand that there's probably people who try to do it and don't execute it very well.
Totally.
And maybe just bring the vibes down.
Totally. Kind of like the edgelord kind of vibe,
Yeah.
which I get. I get that.
Mm.
And hey, we all have our edgelord phase. We all love an edgelord. We all know an edgelord. That's just how life is. I would play an edgelord again. Some could argue I'm playing a bit of an edgelord now. Like,
she's too funny to be an edgelord.
Yeah.
She's very funny. She's
she
very
is
light-hearted.
Yeah, she is quite light-hearted.
She's
foolish with her friends.
She's very she's very foolhardy.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah. So no, I agree.
Yeah,
You don't have to, but also
totally. But give me that tragedy.
There's nothing wrong with it. Oh,
hit me with a tragedy. Oh, we should have. You know what? We should have put his chair here so people could see him. We should have sat him like behind you.
That would have been a disaster.
That would have been hell on earth.
I would love to do that for you.
Should we try it for the next episode?
Potentially.
We'll try it for the next episode. We'll try get him in because he's very sweet. He's very cute.
He's very sweet.
He's very nice. Very old.
Oh.
Bit old.
He's a little bit old. He's only 9.
Yeah, but he's showing age now.
He's
a little grey. Anyway, what were we saying?
I'm just trying to say this dog can
he
get around me?
Get out safely? Because listen, there's a lot of wires, and that's the problem. We've told this story before. He constantly pulls and breaks wires. He breaks headsets. He breaks mics. Everything. Did you get a peek into the office? I hope you didn't, because it's a mess in there. I really hope not. Do we need to pause or?
Nope. There he goes. It's done.
Move the bin. We've had to make a barricade. There we go.
A bully barricade.
A bully barricade.
We'll
try get him in next video.
We'll
it might not work, but we'll try.
So yes.
Yes.
Not necessary.
Nothing
wrong with it though.
But very welcome.
So
give me a tragedy. I want to cry. I want to cry every time I think about your character, Jasper. I could cry right now. I love crying and thinking about Jasper. So, number 7.
8.
Oh my god!
You're always one behind.
I am. Number 8. It's because we made so many stupid jokes. You could have the best DM in the world, but the game will only be as good as its players.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I agree too.
I agree. If you put Matt Mercer into a room full of people who don't like to roleplay,
what's the point?
What's the fucking point of Matt Mercer?
What's the point?
Do you know what I mean? Because he's great at just, allowing people to role. Like, there's out. You watch Critical Role, and he sat there for hours doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because he knows his players love to roleplay.
Yeah, you.
But, you put Matt Mercer in a game where people just want to fucking dungeon crawl and smash stuff, then he's going to look like the worst DM on earth because they're going to be like, oh, this is fucking shit.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Because he'll be like, okay, so what do you want to do? And they're all like, well, you tell us.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see. You know what? I put Matt Mercer on such a pedestal. I don't think that man could do anything wrong, especially in D&D. But
he's unreal. But every single player on that table is an amazing role player.
I think that's it.
They're
yeah,
fucking literal actors.
Yeah, totally. I think that's a whole different kettle of fish. But
they allow him to thrive.
Yes,
and they allow him to thrive.
I think that's it, right? It's like the idea that there's a mutual respect and you all understand what everyone likes. It's like you with us. Like, you know exactly what we like. You know when your moment to talk is. You know when your time to do things is. You know when to push us along, when to not. And we know when you have something you want to do, it will happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but that's just because I'm the right DM for my table.
Yeah, like, I wonder
if you put me in a game where people just want to trudge through a dungeon and like do 6 combats a day,
yeah,
I'd be trash. I'd be a trash DM.
See, I don't know.
I would be a dog shit DM.
Know. Yeah,
because I'd make all the encounters way too hard.
Yeah,
because that's the way I do encounters.
Yeah,
and I'd be bored as fuck because I'd want to.
Yeah,
I'd want to tell a story.
That's it. Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? Like, I agree. I think there's so many. Listen, and I'm going to talk about it. And
talk about what?
The Matt Mercer effect, right? I disagree. I do not think that should be something that we should be summing Matthew Mercer down to.
No,
I feel like that's very unfair. But, that's a big popular discourse is the Matthew Mercer effect. And it's like he is a great DM for his table. And he said it best. I wouldn't be a great DM for other tables. For your table, I might not be a great DM. And I think people forget that his players are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, people see Matt Mercer and they're like, oh, he's an amazing DM, which he is.
He is an amazing DM.
They don't take into account that, the the whole Critical Role cast are incredible, talented, too talented people.
Yeah, it's like you've got. We posted something about this before on TikTok, and someone was like, "If you expect me to be Matt Mercer, then I expect you to be Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham, Taliesin Jaffe,
exactly.
Liam O'Brien, and everyone."
Exactly.
You know, it's like you can't expect everything of me, but you do nothing.
Yeah, and I feel like that feeds into this, right?
Yeah, of course it is. It's like you could have the greatest DM who has a beautiful balance between roleplay, storytelling, and combat, and is very good at all of them.
Yeah.
But if you put him at the table with a bunch of people who've never played D&D before,
Yeah.
he's not going to look that good.
Agreed.
I say he is if like only
I know,
good dungeon masters are men.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's fucking look at Abray Ryangar.
Yeah.
She's fucking unreal dungeon master. She's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But you know, like she is like loosey goosey, baby.
Yep.
She's like just turn the fun up to fucking 12
Mm-hmm.
and just let the chaos reign.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's really good at that. You put her on a table of people who just like to follow the rules, they're gonna hate her.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree. Have you seen the one shot that Marisha ran?
Oh, with the
she's trying to do loads of sound effects. Sorry, that's a total different tangent, but that's so fucking funny. But yeah, no, I do agree. You know what? Talk me around into this because I was like, I don't know. Can an amazing DM who's seasoned and experienced make any table a good experience?
I mean, probably. If you're just like brand new and willing to learn, then yeah. But you know, if you've got a seasoned DM who loves roleplay and a bunch of seasoned players who just like combat, they aren't going to gel. And that isn't going to work.
And you know what? I think it goes deeper, to be honest, than just the roleplay combat balance. I think it goes deeper than that.
Yeah,
I think
way
it
deeper.
goes into like, do people care about like political intrigue? Do people care about like houses? Do people care about like the state of the land?
This is it. It's like again, we have back to Matthew Mercer, but you know, he is brilliant at like political intrigue and a slow burn and stuff like that.
Do people like a slow burn?
Do people like a slow burn? Because you know, a lot of people watch Critical Role and think it's boring because it's too slow. But you know, I love it.
Same.
So yeah, what was the opinion again?
So you could have the best DM in the world, but the game will only be as good as its players.
True.
Yeah, I think so actually. Yeah, I agree.
Critical Role wouldn't be as big as it is if the players weren't amazing voice actors.
Totally. And I also think that this is also a reason why so many DMs try their first table and hate it and never want to DM again.
Yeah.
Because it takes quite a long while, I think, to really understand the flavor of D&D you like.
I agree.
For everyone.
Yeah.
And that's like, you know, the first game we played, we were really lucky that, you know, Matthew's our best friend. We were really lucky that Matthew played in a more modern way that we really enjoy.
Yeah.
But there's also elements of Matthew's campaign that, you know, all of us didn't enjoy. I'm sure there's elements of the way you DM that other people don't enjoy. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not the DM for everyone.
No, definitely not.
You know, like, I like to roleplay, but, you know, it's like when something's like over and like I know that we need to move on.
Yeah.
Like I am more than happy to just move things along.
Yeah.
And I think people would be like, "You're fucking ruining my flow," and it's like, I know, but at the same time, it's like I like to actually fucking around's great and love a bit of fucking around, but you know, I got stuff planned and I want to get through it and I want to have a good time too. But my players understand that and they are happy to have like a bit of fuck around time, but they know that I've got shit planned that they want to get to.
Totally.
Like, you know, if you want to play a game where you where it is like you just turn up and like there's not a huge amount planned and you can make like a shop and, you know, like start a housing chain, start a business and have a bakery and stuff like that, I'm not fucking DM for you because I'd be bored as fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But there's
totally.
loads of games out there that would facilitate that.
But you know what? If you were a first-time DM and you went into that, you wouldn't know any of that. And I you know, so this has kind of gotten off topic a little bit, but you know, we have a lot of new DMs, we have a lot of new players who watch us, and people have bad experiences. And I think a lot of it is down to experience and not knowing what you want.
Yeah.
But hey, there's going to be a table for you. There's going to be a way. There's going to be people you like playing and a way you like playing. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah, 100%. I think you'll go in thinking you, I want to do loads of combat. And you get in, you might do the combat, and you're like, I fucking hate combat.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? You might think one thing because you like that as a player.
Yeah.
But you might just fucking hate it as a DM.
Like, playing D&D is a learning curve.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like, I don't know, when you play your first MMO, right? You don't know what class you like to play. You don't know what role you like to play. And it takes a long time to understand what you actually like to play. D&D is the same. It's the same as anything.
It is the same.
It's a learning curve. And I think people don't realize that it is a learning curve.
Yeah.
And people get discouraged. Understandably, by the way. I think if we had gone in and we didn't have Matthew as a DM and we didn't have an experience that we enjoyed, I don't know if we would have played D&D anymore.
No, I agree.
If we had some of the experiences like in the horror stories, I definitely wouldn't have played D&D ever again.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a tangent.
That was a tangent.
It
was a small tangent.
Well, you watch us because we're concise, yeah?
Yeah.
That's why. I'm starting to get the shakes from drinking this.
Don't drink it. Slurp, baby.
Okay.
What number is this?
9. Yeah. Number 9, baby. Number 9.
Number 9.
Balanced doesn't equal fun.
Fucking hell, that's a loaded phrase.
That is a hot take. But I agree with it. I agree with it.
Okay, why do you agree with it?
I agree with it. But I think maybe I'm thinking of only a tiny little bit of this. Now, the bit my mind goes straight to balance doesn't equal fun. And my mind immediately goes to like the rules lawyer. The rules is written. The rule of cool doesn't exist. That's what my mind goes straight to. And I'm aware that this probably isn't what OP is meaning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, fuck that. Yeah, absolutely. Balance. Not everything has to be balanced for you to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I flip it on the other side and your combats were even 1 times harder than what they are now, would I enjoy that? Would that be fun?
So it's like, right. Fucking Alice.
Go on. Here we go.
So let me put it this way. If I was like, yeah, let's homebrew you something, and I was dog shit at balancing a subclass, and we made you a whole subclass, and you were completely out of whack in comparison to everyone else,
yeah,
you might be having fun, but they wouldn't be having fun.
You know what? Yeah.
So, like, I think balance amongst the players...
Among us? Sorry?
If balance amongst the players is important, in my opinion.
You know what? Yes, I agree. And I think I don't know a single person, like in our real life, who if they were leagues above everyone else, they wouldn't be having fun either.
Like, yeah. Like, I think it's, if any of you were wildly more powerful than the other one, I know that all of you would be a bit like,
oh no, we would. Yeah, we would.
And
definitely.
I think even the person who was wildly more powerful would be like, this
exactly.
isn't fucking fun.
They would.
You know what I mean? Like, believe me of all people, I give my players extra abilities, quite good magic items. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
but you give all of us that.
I give everyone it.
Yeah.
I like to scale it up and turn the juice up as
but it isn't just 1 or 2 people.
No, it's everyone. Because then I can just scale combats up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can feel sick and you can feel cool and you can flavor it however you want and feel awesome and feel a little bit like OP.
Yeah.
But, you know, you all feel a little OP.
You all feel like the main character.
Feels mint.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't think about it in terms of like the party balance. My player brain goes straight to, oh, well, yeah, like being able to do powerful stuff. Like,
equals fun.
The stuff you gave us isn't balanced. It isn't balanced in terms of a normal D&D game.
No, it's not.
But it is balanced for your game, and it's balanced for the party as well.
Because everything that I gave you was basically just a pitfall in your class.
Yeah, totally.
You know
Those things that we'd been struggling with.
Yeah, like when you didn't go first in initiative, you know, that was the shit that you really wanted. So you got that.
Yeah.
Just being able to, like, all of you heal yourself a little bit or something like that.
To
so
take
Abby didn't have to.
Abby,
because Abby didn't want to play the healer.
Totally.
And I know that. And, you know, Josh getting some, Josh wanted Careful Spell to work that way from the beginning. So now Careful Spell works that way. So we can just sling fireballs everywhere and not worry about it.
have to worry about
it. I mean, if any of those subclasses that you picked had those things as well, in terms of the game, they'd be broken.
Yeah. And I think, you know, we hear so much discourse around, it has to be balanced and it can't be broken. I think my mind immediately went to that, but I agree with you. I think things do have to be balanced to a certain degree.
I think the party needs to be balanced.
I think there's, once again, well, it's like everything. It's faceted, isn't it? There's
layers.
There is layers.
There's always layers.
There is layers. Yeah, but no, I agree. He's just stopped licking his feet.
And I saw.
Yeah.
Naughty boy.
Just stop.
Naughty boy.
So yeah, I think that is an extremely hot take.
That
people get really wound up about the idea of balance.
People get fucking so upset about
really
balance.
upset about
and
balance.
The thing is, it's like if you come to my table with a Way of 4 Elements monk and everyone else picks Moon Druid, Shadow Sorcerer, Blood Cleric or something like that, I'm gonna have to do something for that person to make them balanced.
Yes.
Because the thing is, it's like, what does it say?
Just balance doesn't equal fun.
Like, if you come to my table with a Way of 4 Elements monk, probably the worst subclass in the entire game, in my opinion, because they don't have enough fucking key points, and everything they have to do costs so many key points.
Oh, monks. It always comes back to monks, doesn't it?
You're saying that, but if you were the one that was falling behind, you wouldn't be having fun.
No, I agree.
So I'm happy to give you, to bring you in line.
Yes. Some people will say, oh, I don't mind. Like, I make the technically not the OP decisions for my character because I don't mind being underpowered. But yeah, I think in a normal, we do be living in a society.
Ooh.
When someone does start to feel like they're not as good as other people, I think no matter what, there's always going to be some sort of feel sad.
But the thing is, it's like for my table, because people we do have hard combats.
Yeah.
And we do, have a combat most sessions.
Yeah.
Sometimes not, sometimes two.
Yeah.
So if you come to my table, then you probably would feel the effect of being underpowered.
Totally.
But, there's plenty of games out there that don't, and you probably don't need to care about it at that table because that's probably not going to it's not going to rear its ugly head very often.
Yeah. But balanced doesn't equal fun. Hot take.
That is a hot
I bet this
take.
poor person got eaten alive.
Thing is, though, I think it's so ambiguous in what
well, that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
Means.
Are they talking about spells? Are they talking about race classes? Are they talking about min-maxing?
DM versus player? Are they
exactly.
talking about inter-party?
Yeah, what are they talking about? Yeah,
what
totally. But yeah, no, interesting. What
are
do you think?
What are you fucking talking about?
What I must know. What do you think? Please let me know.
I give the question to you.
So, number 10.
Wow. 2 in a row, baby.
Yep, 2 in a row. Let's keep it up. Personally, I actually like getting railroaded. I don't like super open-ended games. I like focused stories and having a plotline that moves without me involving in it. I know some people say this ruins immersion, but it's actually what helps me get into it.
Yeah.
Me too.
I think there is, in most games, a facade of choice.
Agreed.
I think there is, in my game, there's a story there, so you go and follow it.
Yeah.
There's a facade of open choice. And there is, decisions that you can make to either go here or go there, to do this first or do that first.
Yes.
But, if you just sit in the fucking town, I'm going to have to make something happen because I'm going to be bored.
Yeah.
And again, I'm a player too. So yeah, I think there's always an aspect of railroading.
And I think people don't necessarily realize that. This goes back to the idea of fudging rolls. Now, stay with me. I know it seems like it's two separate things.
But Margaret, you're wrong. Fudging rolls
is wrong. Whatever. But if you don't like fudging rolls, I respect you.
Fine.
I would. As a DM, by the way, not as a player.
You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't fudge rolls as a player.
No, don't fudge rolls as a player, no. Yeah, so I think it's a similar thing, right? Where people are like, oh, if I knew my DM fudge rolls, I would be so unimmersed. I would hate it. I would hate that they're handing things to me. I feel like it's the same argument of being railroaded. People are like, oh, well, I wouldn't want to be railroaded. It's like, you said it perfectly. You're not giving your DM enough credit with that.
Yeah.
I think you thinking that you have completely free will is, to a degree, a bit of a facade.
It's like you turn up to D&D because you want to do what the Dungeon Master has planned. You're basically railroading yourself.
Because you want
Is
to
what
follow
you're
the
doing. Yeah.
storyline.
Because, you know, like, if you just... It's tough, innit? Because there is games... I personally despise open world games that are very much just, oh yeah, go there and see what happens. You might find some story. It's like, bored.
Yeah, I see.
Personally, bored.
Yeah, I agree, but I wonder if that's because the experiences we've had of that haven't been executed in a way that sets the world up to be like that.
Potentially.
I feel like the experiences we've had of like a sandbox game
have been bad.
Yeah, well, you know, that's in our opinion.
In our opinion.
You know, I'm certain that some people would have loved the way that that was ran. But I think the issue that we ran into a lot of the time was... Oh, he's clapped me in and I don't know what I was saying.
Oh, no.
What was I saying?
The issue was...
With what?
I don't know.
Oh, no. Oh, the issue was that a lot of the times... We're talking about sandbox. The issue was a lot of the times
She's back in it. Here
we
go.
were stood around going, "What are we doing?"
I know, but
and that's boring
that's
to
boring.
us.
Yeah, because we don't like. Me and you both like direction in games.
Yeah, I don't like to dilly dally a lot.
Yeah. Like if there's nothing pertinent, if there's nothing being like, this is important, go do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I here?
Yeah, and I feel like that is a really personal thing to us, to be honest. I feel like there's a lot of people who wouldn't mind that. There's a lot of people who wouldn't mind just kind of stumbling into the next thing where, you know, we're biased because we like to feel like we're part of a bigger picture.
Now.
Yes.
There is railroading.
Yeah.
That is a no-no.
Yeah, oh, totally. Yeah, totally.
There is no railroading.
Yeah. I think to say that, I hate being railroaded, once again, is you're not giving your DM enough credit there.
I agree, 100%.
Like, I think there's always going to be an element of it because...
The story needs to be told.
Assuming you want the story to be told, and so does your DM, you know, there's going to be an element of having to follow things. And it's like... And maybe I'm only saying this because I DM'd very briefly. I had a peek behind the curtain. Wish I didn't. But now I know there were things that even in the few sessions that we had that you had gotten to in a strange way. It wasn't supposed to go the way that it did. Mm-hmm. But no matter what, you were always going to get to that stuff, right? Yeah. There was things you missed and things I had to force in.
But I think that's you as a person, though. Like, you like your stuff to go the way you plan it to go.
Yes, well, exactly.
In your life, like the podcast, Margaret likes to write a list because she's like, I want to talk about this, and I want to talk about this.
I'm very list oriented.
But it's like, as long as you know where it's going, that then takes the pressure off you.
Totally.
You can, let it get there, as long as let that tangent go as much as it wants, but as long as at the end we go, okay, this is the next thing.
Well, exactly. And, the point I was making was, I don't know if you felt railroaded. There might have been situations where maybe you did feel a bit railroaded. But I like to think that you got to the stuff that you completely avoided, but I managed to weave it in.
Yeah.
And in a way, that is railroading.
That's
but
just
you
DMing.
You just wouldn't know that.
That's just DMing.
I think people just sometimes don't realize.
It's like, the thing is, you've got to plan. Some people don't.
Some people don't, yeah.
Like, what's the point in planning it if you're not going to attempt to get to your players to that point?
Definitely. And I think there's always, in a really super like heavy storyline based game, even things where there's like a sequence of events, right? Like, there's always going to be moments, and those moments have to happen.
I think
and your DM will find a way to do it.
I think that's what stresses most people out about DMing.
Yeah, that's what stressed me out.
It's like, I've got a story to tell, but how the fuck do I do it without railroading your players?
That was totally my issue
and
as well.
There is ways to do it.
Yeah.
And you will only find those out by experiencing it.
Yeah, totally.
Like, to me, not being married about what order you do things in is
really important.
To me, it's quite important. Like, if you want to do it that way, that's fine. But I think that takes a lot of stress and pressure off dungeon mastering. This is what I've got planned. This is what's going to happen this session. they'll just get to each of them when they get to it.
Whereas my big problem as a DM was I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I can say that, that's my flaw. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a DM anymore.
Yeah.
And
It's like if you turn up and you're just like, no, I just want to do whatever I want. And, the Dungeon Master's got to facilitate that.
it's like that's
You just really need to understand that that's really fucking hard to prepare for as a DM.
yeah, and your DM's probably still going to do the stuff, but just in a different way.
Yeah, so like if you're oblivious to the fact that your Dungeon Master's probably just mixed the order up, they're doing things, like, do you know what I mean? Like Margaret said, you're just not giving your DM enough credit.
You're not giving me enough credit, no. And again, this once again feeds into the whole, if I knew my DM was fudging rolls. Listen, your DM has probably fudged rolls.
Wash your mouth out.
I'm sorry.
Wash your mouth out.
Listen.
No way.
It's probably happened. And you would never know about it.
And it's like...
You would never know. And it's people who are like, oh, I would hate it. You know what? I realize I'm being biased because a few people have been really rude about it to us. But...
Fuck them.
Oh, no, yeah, fuck them. Yeah, fuck them. But,
Here's what you deserve.
It's like... you're creating a non-issue. Because you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
And it's like, you want your DM to just improvise it all. Where do you think they got the fucking battle map from, mate? Do you think they just magic that up on the spot?
Yeah,
no, they planned that.
Come on.
So there's got to be some aspect of planning it.
Yeah, there has to be.
And
you're taking so much away from your DM by being like, oh, no, I hate being railroaded. Oh, I hate it when the DM plans things.
And it's like, unless you just want to fight in the middle of a field with a couple of goblins,
which I'm sure some people do, by the way.
You can randomly roll that up there, and then that's pretty easy. If you want like an intense, nuanced fight with like layer actions and all sorts, your DM's probably gonna have to do like a bit of prep.
Yeah.
So like.
Sorry, we've totally gotten away from the point here.
It's 'cause some people are just assholes.
Yeah, some people are some people are
This one
so
goes out
rude.
to all the assholes.
Yeah. You suck. Don't be rude to people on the internet for no reason, man.
You can be rude to me. I don't give.
Don't be rude to him. Don't. Just learn to be nice. Learn to say your opinions in a constructive way. Learn the difference between subjective and objective.
Do you want to know what? That's one of the worst. People just do not get that.
People don't get it.
They don't get it at all.
Man, why am I so heated all of a sudden? I think it's because I'm hungry.
People are trash.
No, well, yeah.
There's so many people that are trash.
Anyway.
You're wrong.
I might cut that out. I don't know.
Nah, keep it in.
I don't know.
Keep it in.
Man, you know what? Margaret from like 20 episodes ago would have been like, cut that out. Margaret now is like...
People don't show you that much grace, so why should you show them?
Well, but to be the better person.
I'm not here to be the better person.
No.
I'm no, absolutely not. I give people far too much fucking leeway on this channel.
Do ya?
Way too much sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I do. I think sometimes we're a little too nice. I think we're better at it now. Some people don't deserve it, Margaret.
Jack.
They don't.
Everyone deserves a little bit of kindness.
What, when they show you absolutely none?
What if they've never been shown kindness in their life? What if you're the first person to actually go out of your way to treat that horrible person nice?
Okay, that's fine. But the thing is, it's like, if I just so it's mostly TikTok. Let's just be honest.
Oh, yeah, no, yes.
Yeah. So it's like, if I put a TikTok up about my opinion, and then someone goes, fuck you, you fat cunt, you're wrong.
Jack, bleep that out. Jack. Come on.
Sorry, I'll say that again. Fuck you, you fat bastard, you're wrong. Is that even worse?
Yes.
Will that get?
Yes.
Oh. Bleep, Jack.
Thanks, Jack.
If someone says, fuck you, you fat moron.
Okay, all right.
You're wrong. And then I don't go back to them and say anything because I don't, then I'm not showing them anything. I'm not rising to it or anything. But like, why do they get a pass for saying those things?
Oh, they don't. But
But the thing is, it's like, yeah, you're right. Like, maybe they've never been showed kindness.
Yeah.
And stuff. I'm not the one to like. I'm not going to comment back to every single hate comment, being
nice.
like, oh, it's okay, mate. I know you've had a tough day, but like, I understand that you've called me fat and you hate me and you think I should die. But you want to know what? Just know that I love you. I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah, no, fair enough, Jack.
I'm not going to say anything to
Oh.
them because I'm not rising to it and like combating them because I don't care. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough. That's fair enough. But people who argue a point. I don't know. There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it.
Yeah, agree. I
And
agree.
telling people that they're fat on the internet is not the right way to do it.
Oh, funny.
Oh man, Jesus! How did we get there?
This has been rambly.
This has been rambly.
This has been
Sorry,
rambly.
I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm full of it.
Let's go. Number
11.
Woo! He's so good today.
Also, anyway, sorry. Yeah, I personally like getting railroaded. So do I.
Yeah. I think if you don't think you've been like even a little bit railroaded, I think you're a bit of a fool.
No, I wouldn't say fool, but
It's foolish to think that you've never have been.
yeah, I feel like maybe it's naive.
Naive.
Maybe not foolish.
Yeah.
Foolish is a bit mean, but
Yeah, true. I
Yeah.
think you're a bit naive to think that you've never been railroaded. It's like, where did the combat come from? Where did the map come from? Where did the
there
storyline
has
come
to be an
from?
element of.
There has to be an element of railroading. You're there to follow a story, surely.
Yeah, unless you're not, and in which case, whatever.
But then there's still going to be some things planned.
Anyway, number 11. Number 11. Rule of cool is a detriment to the health of a game when it's ignoring clear and established rules instead of being used to fill in the gaps between obscure rule interactions. Thoughts?
Don't really like it.
No?
No.
Thoughts?
I think the rule of cool is great to break a rule for that moment and that moment alone.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's very good to just say like, this is super cool. This isn't how it normally works. But right now,
I feel like that's the whole point.
right now, I'm feeling the vibes. I like it.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
picking
do
up
it.
what you're putting
But
down.
just understand that this may be not the way it's going to work in the future.
Yeah,
But right
yeah.
now, I'm happy for it to happen. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
I
cool.
agree, which is ignoring clear and established rules.
Yeah,
I feel like you can't really have rule of cool and not
yeah, because that's why it's
ignore
cool.
those rules.
It's cool because it's breaking the rules just this once.
Yeah, and instead of being used to fill the gaps between obscure rule interactions, I don't fully think I know what that means.
Neither do I.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't really care.
Fair enough.
I think the problem is it's like when you if you rule of cool every second, then yeah, it doesn't become cool anymore because you're doing it all the time.
Oh yeah,
It-
yeah.
It feels cool because
Yeah.
in that moment you get to just tweak the rules or break the rules just to make it work in this instance.
Yeah.
But I do think setting the boundaries have been like, that's not how it works, but this time that's how it works.
Yeah,
because
because
that's sick.
Yeah, and the dice allowed you to do it too. Like I agree. I think and the idea that it's a detriment to the health of the game. Like according to who? Like
it's not the detriment to the health of the game because it's a like my game in my house with my friends.
yeah.
Like isn't going to affect if I break one rule. It's not going to affect the health of the game.
Yeah,
Are
and
you
it's-
talking about the game as a whole, like D&D? Or are you talking
I
about
don't
the health
think
of
so.
each
I
game?
think potentially each game, right? And you know what? God, I'm holding on to this for dear life. Did you see the stance I had on that thing? Jesus, I'm sweating. I think nothing.
You think
brain-
nothing?
brain-
Brain empty.
Empty brain gone.
I think.
Sorry.
No, you go. You go.
No, you go.
No, you
No,
go.
you go.
I just made a
You
point.
go.
You go.
You go. You go. Go on. You go.
Interesting. I like it.
Yep.
Ooh, nuanced.
Nice. Thank you. Thanks for your opinion.
You
Yeah.
go.
There is definitely exceptions to this rule of like it's a detriment to the health of the game because there are some people who will take that one thing being changed one time and will take advantage of it.
Yeah.
There
I've
definitely
played
is
with people like that.
100% definitely people like that.
So that's why you've got to be clear. When as a DM, if
Yeah.
you're doing something rule of coolly,
Yeah.
you need to basically say like, this isn't how it works. It may not be how it works in the future, but right now we're going to break the rules because
Definitely.
that's rule of cool.
And you know what? I do think, to be fair, you know what? I do understand where OP is coming from here.
Yeah.
Thinking of that
Saying
scenario.
it's a detriment to the health of the game is
Yeah.
pretty dramatic.
Yeah,
though.
no. Yeah, well, again, what if your whole table are people like that who will take advantage of it and people
Yeah.
who will go out of their way, I suppose, to try and do things and be like, well, you let it happen this one time.
See, that's the thing. That's where it gets a problem. Because
Yeah.
if you don't say that,
Yeah.
if you don't say only this once, not how it normally works, we're only
Yeah.
but then the rule reverts back to normal, then yes, it would be a detriment to the health of the game.
Yeah, but I
still
think I
think-
think at a normal table,
Yeah.
I really I love Rule of Cool. Like
Yeah.
love it.
But
I'm Stan.
you love Rule of Cool because we like to play mostly by the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to
I
have the
don't think
rules to
you
make the
can-
Rule of Cool work.
You can't have Rule of Cool without having the rules.
Yeah, because it's fucking
God,
pointless.
take a shot every single time we say rule.
Rule,
Don't.
rule,
Don't.
rule, rule.
Jack. Trying to kill off the squad
Anyone
blasters
pissed
one at a time. So yeah, I think I
get it. It's just list with the drama.
Yeah. I you know what? Is that a hot take? I don't think so. I think people hate Rule of Cool.
I think loads of people hate Rule of
I
Cool.
think people really hate Rule of Cool. And I think it's probably because they've been taken advantage of, or
Yeah.
there isn't the right balance between it.
Yeah.
And, there isn't a right or wrong balance. That's not fair of me to say. But
Well, I think there is right and
there's
wrong
been
per
an
table.
imbalance. of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I agree, but I don't know the way it's worded.
Rancid vibes.
Not a fan.
Okay, number 12.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. It is better to accidentally be too rough and kill a PC than to never have challenging combat to begin with.
Agree.
Yeah. So,
Okay. Okay.
I
Are
agree.
you about to hot take me?
No, I agree. I do agree.
Yeah.
But I think in the moments where you have accidentally been too rough and you kill a PC, depending on how the player feels about it, give them the option to bring them back.
Yeah. That's a different conversation.
That is a different
But
conversation.
To me, if I was to play in a game where there was either never a chance of anything going wrong or there being too much chance of things going wrong, I would rather play in the latter.
I agree.
That would excite me, and that would make me want to play to the best of my ability and strategically and all those things.
Yeah.
Whereas in the other one, you can just fucking mess about and nothing's really going to happen. Like,
True. You know what? My opinion on this has actually changed loads since starting the podcast. I'm sure you'll all remember in the beginning, I was like, nope, hate the idea of my character dying. I want my character to never die. Where now I'm like, yeah, I would actually be happy with my character dying. Not permanently. I would need to know that there would always be a way to bring my character back.
mm-hmm.
But before I wasn't even on board with that. I just never wanted my character to die.
Yeah.
So my opinion has changed on this a lot.
Yeah.
And I used to say, I don't need the threat of death to be invested in a storyline. However, now I lean more towards what you're saying. I need to be scared for my character.
Like, if there's no way that your character could die, this is a very personal thing.
Oh, this is
such a personal thing. So
very
if you
subjective.
disagree with either of me or Margaret, I understand.
We completely understand because hey, I've moved between the two.
Because people just want different things out of D&D.
Of course.
And I want to know that there is a threat that things can go wrong and I could lose my character.
Yeah.
Because that makes me want to try.
Yeah.
If I don't have that, then I don't really care.
Yeah.
But that's just me. And that's also what I instill into my players. It's like, these combats are hard. I say it every session 0. Your character can die. Like, if you play like not an idiot, but if you play recklessly, there will be consequences because my enemies are trying to kill you.
Yeah.
So, my stance on it.
Yeah, and I definitely am not fully on with your stance. Like, oh, did you hear that noise? That was weird. I'm kind of more on the side of, yeah, I do want to know that there's a chance that something could happen. I used to be the exact opposite. I used to be like, absolutely not. I never want my character to die. Now I'm like, I still don't need it. I don't need the threat of death to be invested because I'm invested no matter what. But I do now like to know that if things go wrong, there could be terrible consequences to it.
Yeah. Like
terrible consequences. And I like that.
I like it. I do like it. I think to me, it just puts more on the line.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I get it. If you don't like that and you just want to turn up to roleplay and not be bothered, and not ever have a threat of it, you just like to roll the dice and combat to see if you hit, and that's fine too. But to me, I'd just be bored.
Yeah, this this once again is such a
This is
personal
so
thing,
personal,
and everyone
so
will feel
personal.
differently about
Yeah,
this.
and that's fine. Like, that's totally fine.
But what do you think about the actual opinion of it's better to be too rough and kill them instead of having like a challenging combat?
Personally, I agree.
Like as a player and a DM.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do too as well. To be honest,
I the thing is, you don't. It's not a choice. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is pointless because you choose the level of it, and your players have to subscribe to that.
yeah.
So
yeah,
you know,
you're right.
like it's not really a choice because there isn't just like we either do it this way or this way. It's like that's not the point.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the moment, right?
Yeah.
The moment of, oh shit, oh god, I've made this too rough. We're now at a point where someone could die. Do I stick to my guns and let it be, or do I do some finagling to ensure it doesn't happen?
Yeah, I still think I would stick to my guns. But I say that because like I've Dungeon Mastered for a long time, and I know how to. If I was a new DM, I would be more than happy to finagle it and be like, oh, I've made this too hard. I need to nerf it in the moment because there's no point in punishing yourself for learning.
Yeah,
like
true.
While you're on that learning curve, and until you feel comfortable. Like, if you feel comfortable and the dice have just gone the wrong way for the players, then I would stick to my guns.
Yeah.
But if I'm still in a learning curve and it's my fault, then I'd be more than happy to nerf it for the players.
Yeah.
But, I'm out of that learning curve now, so it's easy for me to say in this situation.
Yeah, it's easy to, yeah.
Because, it's not being like it's very rare that I get a combat round, but, like, I do it fucking every week.
Yeah.
So I understand how to do it now.
Yeah, you do very, very much so. And you know what? I actually wonder now, thinking about it, if maybe they mean at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's better to have gone too far and killed someone rather than not pushing people at all. And I agree with that. I think I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think it depends what stage of your DMing career you're in.
And once again, this is going to be so different for every single person. Like, I feel like this isn't even necessarily a hot take. I feel like this is just like
personal choice.
Totally.
That's all it is.
What do you think?
What do you think?
I feel like this is something that's really going to divide people, to be honest.
But that's fine. That's the point.
That's the point. That's the point of D&D.
Everyone likes it differently.
Yeah. And no one's wrong for the way they think about it, by the way.
No. I'm a fat idiot.
Oh, no. So we're coming up to the last few here. This is number 13.
Number 13.
Number 13.
Look at that. Look at her go. She's on fire, baby.
This is the third to last. I like to keep you informed. I like you to know. Third to last.
Third to last.
What's that? What's the word for that? We know penultimate is second to last. What's third to last?
The one before penultimate.
The one before. We're at the one before penultimate. So, watching other people play Dungeons and Dragons is just lazy D&D. Like, to me...
What the fuck is wrong with you?
To me, the whole appeal is you get to be on your own fictional adventure with your friends. Just watching others is like, well, you want to play D&D, but you don't want to put the effort in.
Oh.
Or you're just not creative enough to have your own game. Nothing wrong with not wanting to do it yourself, honestly. I just don't get it personally.
And you're a fucking asshole, so shut up.
Like, there is so many reasons.
There's so many reasons.
There's so many reasons why people can't play D&D.
Do you know what I mean? This is it, though. This is just like, you're not seeing people's point of view.
Yeah, to say it's lazy and to say you're not putting enough effort in.
You're just stupid. You're just being a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I feel like that's so rude.
Your hot take's trash. Shut the fuck up.
There's so many reasons why people can't play D&D.
Yeah.
There's some people don't
travel.
My God.
Some people don't have good internet connection. Can't play online.
100%.
Some people are socially awkward. Some people just are too nervous to pick up the courage to do it.
Some people are chronically ill. Some people won't give the space for people who need accommodations.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not the person's fault. Like, some people work. Some people work
Some
too
people
much.
have a rigid schedule and they can't, and no game fits their schedule.
Totally.
So you're a fucking asshole.
It's like,
shut your fucking mouth. We don't need to fucking spend any more time on this because it's such a trash take.
I agree. Do not let anyone tell you that, oh, you're watching sports.
Yeah.
Sports.
Oh, So why aren't you a professional athlete?
Yeah, sports.
Sorry, why don't you
Watching football.
Why aren't you part of the NFL or whatever it is in America? I can imagine that's where it comes from.
Like watching movies.
Why don't you play
listening
for
to audiobooks?
Why don't you play for our Arsenal Football Club?
Like, yeah, I think that's
It's because you're lazy. That's why.
That's so rude. Do not ever let anyone tell you, oh, because you watch D&D, you're lazy. That's so.
Shut the fuck up. Like,
Very
Critical
rude.
Role is entertainment.
It's entertainment. It's entertainment.
So why? So sorry,
Well, you're not allowed to entertain
you
yourself.
watched a movie. Sorry, why aren't you a movie star? Why aren't you Tom Cruise?
Yeah, it's like, you know, the idea that, oh, well, you can't watch D&D because you should just be playing D&D instead of watching D&D. It's like, that makes no sense.
Literally no sense.
And don't come
that is
at it.
the dumbest fucking take I've ever heard.
Oh, he's mad.
I am. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I know,
It's just stupidness.
This is not being able to see outside of your own personal experience.
Yeah, 100%.
This is not being able to consider the fact that,
Other people's lives are different to yours.
yeah, very much so. Rude, unrestful,
Unrestful.
rancid vibes.
Rancid vibes.
Unrestful.
You're a terrible person.
Everyone, unrestful. I don't think you're a terrible person. I think you just.
No, I think you are.
I think you need to have a lesson in grace and decorum and
Just an idiot.
understand that the world isn't only through your lens.
Just an idiot.
Yeah.
Just stupid.
Rude.
Just stupidness.
Rude. So this is the penultimate.
Whoa!
Don't know what number it is, but it's the penultimate.
Yeah, you do. What number is it?
14. Jack, I said any random number then,
That was amazing.
and I hope for the best.
You're so good at
Thank
numbers.
you. I'm so good at the
You
number.
do number well.
So, Critical Role was a detriment to existing D&D groups. Before Critical Role, every group I was in just wanted to have fun, and we always had an adventure. After Critical Role, at least one person did nothing but try to emulate what they saw on the stream, and all it has done is make D&D less enjoyable and less free for everyone. Sure, it helped to popularize D&D again, but honestly, D&D was already making a comeback without Critical Role. In my eyes, it has done nothing but make D&D players less focused on the point of D&D, which is to have fun with friends, and more focused on trying to reach some bullshit bar that has been set for them.
We've talked about this before. This is just gatekeeping. That's all you're trying to do.
100%.
Nobody, not a single person, never, ever in their lives asked you to do this. Asked to implement it. Nobody. People just wanted to. So, you know, that's the way they want to play D&D. You're being sour for no reason.
That's it. It's once again the idea of how I play D&D. What, you're not playing it the way I play D&D?
But that's the way you have to play it, because that's the way I want to play it.
And, you know, the idea that, like, oh, we just want to have fun and we always had an adventure, but now people want more than that. It's like...
I can't believe you would be also so fucking blind. Like, blind to say that Critical Role, like, D&D might have been making a comeback. That's fine.
Which, I think it was.
It was.
Yeah,
I agree, but it would never, ever, I don't care what anyone says,
No.
it would never have reached the heights it has reached.
Never.
There wouldn't have been a Dungeons and Dragons movie this year. It wouldn't have happened.
It wouldn't have. I fully agree. I completely...
If it wasn't for Critical Role.
And listen, we're biased. We are Critical Role stans.
Whether you're a Critical Role stan or not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You cannot deny the influence it has.
Yeah, agreed. Very much so agreed. Like,
Just
it
not
was
true.
the most popular Twitch channel of all time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like,
there's no way that can't have an influence on the actual game that's
There's
being
no way.
played.
There's no way.
And yes, of course, people are going to want to try and emulate the people they see on the screen.
Of course.
Of course they are. And this kind of feeds back into the group is only as good as the players, right? And you can't emulate them because you're not them.
You aren't. And the thing is, it's like, instead of doing what this person has done, is they've taken the easy way out.
They've made like a straw man argument here out of this.
Yeah, it's just straw man. It's like, you could have literally just turned to your group and be like, this isn't sort of like the brand of D&D that I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe this group isn't for me anymore. Maybe I need to go find a new group that maybe doesn't do these things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, instead of doing anything about it, what you've done is you've come to the internet and just had a fucking whinge. instead of like
And
actually doing something.
Listen,
about
that's
it.
what the internet's for. I get it.
It's not.
It is. We're here whinging.
But yeah,
You
it's
know,
true.
it's
That's
what
true.
that
That's
is.
true.
The internet was
that's fair. That's fair.
created for people to have a whinge. I get it. But, once again, this is a case of someone who can't see past their own personal experiences.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm certain that this person had someone at their table who had watched Critical Role and tried to be insane about it. I get it.
Yeah.
But you can't then say it was a detriment to
You can't
all
say it's
existing
Critical Role's
D&D
fault.
groups. We would have. Granted, yes, we were playing D&D because Matthew, our friend, played D&D. He introduced us to it. However, we would not play the way we do without things like Critical Role.
I can guarantee you, if you got into D&D, maybe you didn't get into D&D by Critical Role, but like if you trace back the people who got you into D&D and trace them back to the people who got them into D&D, I can guarantee you it led back to Critical Role.
At least in the new era of D&D.
I can say for the majority of you, your origins of playing D&D probably go back to Critical Role.
Yeah, and
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there isn't. Of course there isn't.
Because, things have changed for you, you just want someone to blame.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
all it is.
This is so, you said it so right, and I didn't even think about it like this. It is gatekeeping, 100%.
It is gatekeeping.
We just had fun, and we just had ventures with our silly little games that we played with our friends, and people want to take it so serious now, and it's like, why does that matter to you?
Nothing changed. Like you don't have to do these things.
You don't
have to, nobody's asking you. Nobody's asking you to change. You can still do whatever you want, and the world will just revolve. Nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
If this isn't the group that you like playing with anymore, find another group that fucking hates Critical Role. Trust me, there's loads of them.
There is loads of them.
Stupidly, there's loads of them.
There is.
So you can find the group. So it's just a fucking pointless argument.
It is a pointless argument. And the idea that it makes D&D players less focused on D&D, it's like we're all getting together to play with our friends.
Yeah.
That over anything else. Oh, the fact it could be D&D, it could be fucking Pathfinder, it could be fucking Monopoly,
the
right?
thing is, it's that says that there is, that basically says there's a right way and a wrong way to play D&D.
Which there isn't.
There isn't. It's like you can, yes, it can just be the dice-based system that you want to play, but play it in a different way. It's like there is a rule book, and you can follow those rules, but then anything else that you do with roleplay and things like that, the Dungeon Master's Guide just gives you guides to roleplay and guides to tell a story. So there is no right or wrong way to play D&D.
Agreed. And you know what? This post contradicts itself. It says that it's making D&D less focus on D&D, which is the point of D&D is to have fun with friends. And it's like, how is getting together with a group of your friends and maybe being inspired by Critical Role and playing D&D, how is that not having fun with your friends? Oh, in your opinion.
In your opinion. But this is the problem. You're telling people that it's
your
wrong
opinion,
and right.
Yeah, I know, I agree. Man, there's nothing that pisses me off more than
just
that.
Fucking stupid.
God, let people play it exactly how they want to play. Let people fucking, yes, absolutely pretend to be like they're on Critical Role.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Just do what you want.
I know.
As long as you're having a good time at the table. But the thing is, you're not having a good time at the table. So if you're not having a good time at the table anymore, just leave and find a different group.
I really hate we just used to have fun.
Before Critical Role came in and ruined it. Because they came
they
into my house and they told me how to play D&D, and that's wrong. It's like they didn't do any of that. They just put themselves on the internet and people watch it.
Man, we have ranted in this video.
Some of these are just so stupid.
Yeah, that is a hot take and that's so stupid. But the worst thing is, a lot of people do agree with that. A lot of people think it's people who sit and they're like, it's gatekeepers. It's gatekeepers.
It's
being like, oh, these new people coming to our game, making it more than just having fun with your friends.
Did they do that? Did they say those things?
The game is all about sitting there and rolling dice and fighting things.
Did they ask you to change? Don't think they did.
No, of course they didn't.
It just opened their eyes to a different way of playing.
Of course.
And you don't like that.
Having more options is never a bad thing. Being more inclusive to people, never a bad thing.
Critical Role did nothing apart from put themselves on the internet and then everyone realised that it was awesome. That's all that happened.
This video is sponsored by Critical Role.
It is sponsored by Matthew. Come on in.
Yeah, come on in.
Come on.
But no, yeah, seriously, shut up.
Shut up.
Stop telling people what to do. That's not fair. It's not fair, it's not fun, and it's not funky or fresh. So, shut up.
You've been told by Mummy.
Rancid vibes.
Unrestful, rancid vibes.
Mother disagrees. Number 10.
No, sorry, not number 10, number 15.
Oh, sorry, we had to clap
we had to
out.
clap out with the dog. I absolutely set you up for failure
What
there.
is number 14?
15.
15. Number
Last one,
This is the
baby.
last one. This is the last one. We're on the final one. Everyone, get ready. If you're on a watch party,
It's the fine ultimate.
get yourself prepared.
That's not a word.
Get ready to wild shape. We're about to crab rave. Oh my god.
This is gonna be This is gonna be 3 hours long.
Oh my god.
I think it's gonna end up being 3 hours long.
It can't. I promise I'll cut something out somewhere. It can't be 4 hours. 3 hours
3
long. Oh my god, 4 hours. And I bet all of you are still like, we want more. More.
Longer.
So, perhaps an unpopular opinion.
Perhaps.
But I hate the cover of Keys to the Golden Vault just because of the smiling character. I'm gonna put the artwork in here so you can see it. It's in the actual document if you want to see it. So if it had been I'm totally getting away with this smirk, it would have been fine. But the cover has a going down the slide wee smile, and it looks childish, like a book for preschoolers and not something aimed to adults or young adults. And here's the picture. Can you see it, Jack?
I'm gonna look at it now. 1 second.
So take a look. What do you think? What do you reckon?
It's a cheeky grin, isn't
It's a little cheeky grin, innit? And you know what? I find this hilarious, but I don't agree with this particular thing. However, I am absolutely the type of person who I would see something like that I didn't like the look of, and I'd be like,
Never. Margaret.
I know exactly what you're going to say here.
Margaret never listened to what is now one of her favourite bands of all
Yeah.
time, Neck Deep.
Yep.
Because she didn't like the name.
I hated the name.
So she just refused
Neck
to listen to them. And then when we got together, I was like, oh, do you like Neck Deep? And she was like,
No.
and then she listened to them and she was like,
Well,
actually,
actually.
they're really good.
Ooh. Yeah, so I totally get this. Donnie Ducko, I'm with you.
Donnie Ducko.
I
Do
don't.
you know who that looks like?
Go on.
That looks like that guy who just tries to copy what Mr. Beast does.
Oh my god.
What's his name?
Oh my god. Is it
Matthew?
Matthew? Oh
something.
my god. It does.
It looks
does.
exactly.
Oh my god, it does.
Shall
Shall I put a picture on?
Okay.
Wait. Matthew Beam.
His name is Matthew Beam. I stopped to look
We
it up.
stopped to look it up. Yeah, it does. It really does. That's
That looks exactly like Matthew Beam.
Yeah. That's such an obscure reference, and I don't know if anyone's gonna get. But
He's just a guy who really likes Mr. Beast's content. I think
he does. He does Mr. Beast.
Just does Mr. Beast
it's
style
like,
content.
Yeah, Mr. Beast's
Matthew Beam.
twin that he consumed
my
in the
God.
womb.
Like, I can't believe how much it looks like him. That is insane.
So I get it. I'm so with you. There has been times in my life where I have not liked the look of something and I have banished it to the shadow realm, never to look at it ever again for no reason.
I can't believe how much it looks like Matthew Beam. I can't stop seeing it now.
Oh, maybe they modelled it after Matthew
The hair
Beam.
and everything.
Yeah, I agree. I promise I'll put a graphic. Maybe. This
I've put it in the
episode is
notes.
going to be
Put it in the
hell
notes.
to edit.
It's gonna be so long.
But yeah, that's it.
That's about it,
That's
baby.
the last one. That's the last hot take. And I agree. What do you think? Now, what do you think?
What do I think? What?
The smile.
Fucking shit. Couldn't care less.
I
If
hope.
it's good
I
content.
hope-
It's good content, baby.
I really hope there's someone out here who agrees.
Oh, there will be.
Like, not necessarily with like this, but have you ever seen something or heard something and you're like, ugh, and you don't give it the
it's
time of
like
day?
when you watch an advert and it's like the acting's really bad or something, you're like, it's hot trash. I would never
Yeah,
fucking buy from that company.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I get it, but
Yeah.
I don't really care. Personally,
Agree.
they just wanted to put Matthew Beam on the front cover. That's all they wanted. So this episode is
Sponsored by Matthew Beam,
Critical Role,
Matthew Mercer, and Matthew Beam. All the
Matthew
Matthews.
Mercer, and Critical Role.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So thanks for the
Thanks to the
sponsoring,
sponsors.
us, guys.
You
That's
helped
it.
buy this energy drink.
Yeah, that's all we have. This on paper right now seems like a really long episode.
Who cares?
I hope it's not that long when it goes out because I
It's fine.
think 3 hours is pushing it. 3 hours is a little bit of a push.
Is what it is, baby.
Yeah.
Is what it is, baby.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's
it. That's your film.
There was a lot of ranting in that one.
There was a lot of ranting.
It's been a long time since we last recorded.
Hot takes are like that, though.
Hot takes are like that.
Hot takes do that to you.
Yeah. You know what? I felt like, there was a lot to cover as well. We went over the campaign update. We went over all the fan art, the merch, homebrew submissions. Homebrew submissions are closed for the first challenge.
You will get your next week, and you will
Monday.
also get the winner for the first one on Thursday next week.
Exactly.
So let me roll you out.
Roll us out.
If you liked it, leave a like on the video. If you liked it enough, consider subscribing to the channel. It is free. Hit the bell to be notified when we upload videos on a Monday and a Thursday. And don't forget to tell us your hot take in the comments below.
Yeah.
And just comment anyway, because, it helps us. We love you so much.
We love you very much.
I love you from the depths of my heart.
I love you from the top of my heart.
Bully despises you.
No, he doesn't.
Because you
take that back.
Because you take me away from him. For a small amount of time.
Yeah.
He doesn't really hate. He just hates the idea of you.
Yeah. I'm sure if he met you, he'd shake your hand. You know.
Yeah.
He'd like wave at you in the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Bully's a waving dog.
Yeah.
Anyway. We will see you on Thursday.
Yeah.
Bye.